It's Friday night, which means we're back with Convergence. And man, last week was a doozy. I want some people to tell me about it now so we can refresh ourselves and prepare for what is going to be a slightly slower open as we figure out what on earth everyone's doing. So, recap. Anyone?
Well, we encountered memory. We decided to try out the, what was this, 75th floor again? Assuming that the wreckage was an illusion, and we were right. It was an illusion. And getting past that was just a hallway with endless doors filled with black whatever, to which sticking our heads in revealed past memories, which Hasvard got to see some memories he didn't know about at all. And Lithian got traumatized. So True Sight was cast on Lithian, and she was able to see past the blackness to see that there was like crystals in the back of these rooms channeling this. So it was decided, I don't remember who decided, I think she kind of decided to follow the halls until she found something different. And came across what seemed to be the central crystal. It was surrounded by 3 smaller ones, and she decided to break it. And upon successfully breaking it, sent out some sort of psychic wave that knocked out her and Tajira, that put them into happy memories. Oh, and our dear imp friend, who we left like that.
Well, we took him with us to the Red Dragons, at least.
Yes. So once we finally got everybody up, except for the imp, we went back to Morgana, and Hasvard very nicely left him in, like, a bench or something.
In a bag.
No, I specified he wasn't in a bag. I put a blanket on him.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the bag you put over him.
No.
Morgana let us at her treasure room, which I don't remember what items everybody got, but afterwards, basically done. Oh wait, I skipped a whole big thing. Excuse me.
Yeah, you did.
I got sidetracked by the imp.
Backing up.
Excuse me. After the crystal was destroyed and everyone kind of regrouped, up from the elevator, the lift, came the old man, less hunched over, and speaking clearly, and thanking us for restoring his memories. To which we were like, and who the fuck are you? So he transformed himself back into his apparently original form and claims to be Tyrek. Even though we already know Tyrek, then that's not Tyrek. So, yeah, there's that. And then we let him go. There wasn't a lot to that other than, okay. He gave us the card we were looking for, and he has many other cards, which we will probably need to get from him.
Slightly bigger deal to me that there's a usurper, but you know.
Yeah. Martell and the Handmaiden are, to say the least, shook.
Yeah, that's an appropriate way of putting it.
Yeah, and okay, now I can time skip ahead to where I was. We just traveled back to the city we came into. the continent's name again?
The continent's name is Iridu. The
Thank
city
you.
you are currently in is Nulis.
I could only think of a Skyrim name. That wasn't it. Yeah. And that's kind of where we left.
Anybody have anything else to add to that?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Well, good job, Lithian. Take your 3 points for your recap. In which case, we will begin where we left off, if only for the sake of a little continuity, which was using the warp ring given to you and crafted by the Hammer of Amaron as a parting gift. You have warped from the city of Blazing Amber, Vark Kalzar back to one of the 5 remnant cities on the coasts of Iridu, Nulis in particular, the one that you teleported to originally. You were all standing on the raised teleportation circle in the cramped metal-walled room where there was previously a worker sitting at a desk, which is now currently empty, with a sign that says "out to lunch," despite the fact that it is, unreasonably late. If there isn't anything specific anyone wants to do or say, we can cut straight to getting to the saloon and you guys acquiring rooms to rest, because it is pretty late. That was your time to speak.
I'm good cutting to night 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we rolled our D100s last time.
Yeah.
You did. Okay. Well, you will, as before, but now a little bit better informed, exit the room, head down the long metallic hallway to the double doors, which will, with a little bit of help from the handmaiden, open up, and you will ride the lift down into the marketplace, which is still busy, despite the fact that that is 5 in the morning right now. Then you will work your way through the bazaar, eventually heading into the double swinging door, only standing structure on this floor of the saloon, of which is sparsely populated. A handful of individuals currently residing at tables and at the bar. Some playing what looks like a game of Lord and Ladies in the back corner, with only one wind elemental assistant and the same orcish bartender from before currently working the front. You can acquire rooms for the day, for you at the very least, although uberly expensive everywhere else. A sum of 5 gold pieces for the day each.
Lithian will pay for everybody. She'll just hand over. What is that? There are 5 of us at the moment? Am I counting right?
Yes.
With the
Yep.
handmaiden?
Yep. 5 of you, including the handmaiden.
So she'll hand over 3 platinum.
So it's 5 per person, or is it 5 per room?
5 per room. But the rooms are only meant for individuals. So I mean, you could rent one room and have 2 people sleep in it, but there's only sleeping accommodations for 1.
Well, there's 2 people that I think are not technically sleeping in a room, if I remember correctly from last time.
Yes, I was just about to say the handmaiden and I will share a room because we're not going to be sleeping in the room.
I was suggesting taking it a step further and putting it in like Lithian's room or something.
Could do too.
Well, that's up to Martel and the handmaiden ultimately. If you want a separate room for the door, you may have one. Otherwise, it is also very easy to place into someone else's room and be out of the way.
Sure, we'll save the money, despite Lithian not really wanting or caring to save the money.
Mm-hmm.
Lithian's still gonna hand them 3 platinum, regardless.
Sword is a penny pincher, okay? It's in my character.
It's fine.
And apparently Lithian doesn't care.
Yeah.
So the bartender will take 3 platinum, provide 4 room keys, and then point for you to the stairs on the side of the room that lead up and through the ceiling to where the accommodations rest. There's really no need for any crazy shenanigans for fiddling for how people are going to sleep, but the important question is, maybe it's important. What room is the door for the magnificent oasis going to be put into?
Lithium, so she'll let us.
He's fairly indifferent.
Okay. In this case, the door will be put in Lithian's room. Now that you're in the saloon, is there anything else you'd like to do prior to, conking out for the evening, for those of you that actually require sleep? Because a large sum of you don't anymore. No. Okay. In which case, you were all settled into your rooms, respectively. The accommodations are relatively simple. The rooms are a bit on the smaller side due to the contained nature of the cities. There really isn't a lot of space for luxury. So there's no add-on kitchens or second living spaces. It's a single room, about 10 by 10, with a bed, a mirror, a wash basin with plumbing, and a wardrobe, and that's it. But everything is temperature controlled, very comfortable, and perfectly clean. So while maybe not the most luxurious experience, it is a comfortable one. All right, so you all settle in. The door being erected into Lithian's room, to which the handmaiden Martel vanish into. The door turning invisible once inside. As for handling people's stuff, I've already worked with Martel, so we already know what's unfolded there for the evening. But we have one person who has to still yet go through something. Tijira.
Sorry, what do you need from me?
You rolled a high number last week. I'm giving you a thing.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want a thing, I can skip over.
No, definitely not.
Right. All right, Tajira. You are in these relatively Spartan quarters, getting comfortable for the first time in a long time. You crawl into bed. The sheets and the bedding are soft, and they smell fragrant of flowers from a distant land, not one of Eridu. And you, in your exhaustion, drift off to sleep, with many thoughts running through your mind as to everything you've experienced in the last 48 hours. It is sometime in your sleep that you begin to hear a cacophony of voices. Like it's the sound as if a group of people are whispering outside your door. Your sharp senses pick at them up, and you awake. Except when you sit up in your bed, you are not in your room. Still in your bed, still dressed down for rest, you find yourself sitting up in a black void. Everything seems endless around you. There is no light or sound, but you can see perfectly fine. But the voices, you hear them whispering. Make a perception check.
Oh, that's gonna be terrible. Yeah, that is a 15.
That's pretty good still.
Okay.
So as you listen, the only fixed point of sound that you can hear are coming from a sourceless place around you. You catch just few words, never whole statements. And you hear things that all sound related to what you've just experienced. You hear dragon, shadow, luck, lost, found, missing, And they just sort of repeat the same conversation you kind of just keep hearing over and over again. And in the distance, an undetermined amount of space away from you, you see a single figure lying on their side, their hand propping them up, their legs tucked underneath them. They look battered and bruised and suffering in contained agony. But they carry a presence about them that speaks to a lot of the experiences you've just had. You know this person is important, and you can tell just by looking. Do you approach them?
I can I make a check to see if I remember who it is, or do I know who this is?
You don't know who this is. Just make an intelligence check. Straight up intelligence.
Yeah. Okay, that's a 10.
No, nothing of the pale white skin or the golden blonde hair really strikes any chords with you.
Okay. Do I see anything around them, or is it just seeing them like in a cage, I guess?
It's just them. There is nothing around them. They just seem collapsed on the floor.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
imagine
so-
if someone had fainted walking, and then they've managed to push themselves back up from that fallen position, and they're trying to take in their surroundings. They seem dazed and uncertain.
So she'll rush up, not in a so that she can make sure that they see them, so she's not startled. Whoever's on the ground, and see if she say, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
I'm alive.
Is there something I can do?
Find my brother. He looks for me.
Everyone, what is your brother's name?
Tyrek. And then you'll hear this individual scream in agony. And you'll watch as something that you can't see seems to throw them, and almost as they move from this position, they sort of fade out of existence. And you are just left standing there in the darkness.
She is shocked. It looks around to see if she can see her bed behind her.
You can. It's the only thing left in this void.
She's going to remain still and just try to perceive if there's anything around her. Like, just listen.
Okay. Make another perception check then.
Oh, that one's going to be better. That's an 18.
Okay. The whispers have all but ceased. And it seems almost impossibly distant. You can hear what are the tortured screams of the individual you just spoke to. They seem to echo from like a faraway cave and then vanish.
So directionless.
Yeah.
Okay. She figures there's nothing much she can do now, so she's gonna run back to her bed.
Okay.
And as if it is a carpet or something, she'll jump into it and like look around to see if it moves.
It does not. But once back in your bed, you were overtaken, despite the adrenaline or anxiety of the situation, back to slumber.
She just collapses.
And you will awaken once you've achieved your rest. And that being said, 8 hours will pass. For those of you that require this long time of sleep to be rested, you will be rested. Full long rest will be achieved. For those of you that don't sleep and are not contained within a magical dimension, is there anything you want to do with your time? Mostly, Asvard.
Notes. All the notes. All the bitty notes. But the things notes. Like, about the dark rooms, the fact that they were able to manipulate memories and possibly emotion, don't really know. The layout of the stones in the different rooms, because I saw the main spot where Lithian had cleaved them out. Notes on the Tyrig, the way he was like portraying himself and the effects that this magic seemed to have on him. I want all the notes.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'll write them for myself, obviously. So that's what Hasvard is doing.
So Hasvard's just lying on his bed on his stomach like a high school schoolgirl writing in her diary.
Yeah, because
just for several hours.
Yeah, my Sweetums loves like all of the information, so I'm obviously gonna keep all of the information so that if something happens to me, it's still there for her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Anyways. Hasvard likes notes.
And so the notes are written.
Every minute detail.
So Hasvard will spend you will spend the better part of your night making sure you get every possible little detail written. And that passes 8 hours pretty quickly, you'd be surprised.
Oh yeah.
But once everyone's requisite times for sleeping has come about, it is 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Second breakfast.
So, right after Tijieta wakes, she wants to write down the words that we're repeating slowly. And as a player, I only got Dragon and Luck. Could you?
All right. So what did you get?
Dragon, Luck, and I was
Dragon, Shadow, Luck.
Thank you.
I don't remember what the other two were.
Missing. Found.
Thanks.
Was it Dragon, Luck, Missing, Shadow, Found, or? Because I'm going to guess that the order kind of matters.
I will be polite and tell you the order does not matter.
Thank you. That is very polite.
And immediately after writing all that down, she is going to try and find Bartel.
You know all the rooms people are staying in. I guess let's hop on over to Martel. Martel.
Yeah.
In your extensive interdimensional rest, what is Martel up to leading to the end of the 8 hours? Is there anything you need to do or talk about, or?
Yeah, so Martel will approach the handmaiden once she's been able to finish her trancing, assuming she is able to do that.
It certainly looked like a rough night for trancing, but...
Yeah. Martel will go over to the handmaiden, and she'll just... Hey, how are you?
Do I really need to answer that question?
Martel shakes her head. No, you do not. But I think there's something that you need to know. You need to understand. The Tyrek took you in, who helped you, gave you purpose. It's still our Tyrek. This new Tyrek, Whatever else he may be, he is a usurper of our Tyrrek. He is a threat to our Tyrrek. You said you were nothing but a pawn. You are wrong. You are the handmaiden.
I don't care about the existence of the second Tyrrek. I care about what it implies. I implicitly trusted everything I knew. I believed that everything I was told was the truth. And to know that at face value, the entity that was speaking to me this entire time might not be that one means the game I've been allowing myself to be played in is still one that I do not have faith in anymore. I can't trust it.
Bugs. That is your decision to make. But for me, nothing has changed. Tyrrek asked us, get the cards, build the dragon, bring order back to this world. He is Tyrrek. I am not entitled to his every thought, his every whim, his truth or his lies. I simply believe in his cause. Then Martel will leave the handmaiden. And,
Make a persuasion check for me.
sure. Oh, dice. You would think. After 3-ish years of playing this game, I would remember that I need dice every night. Ugh.
Oops.
Sorry, they're not hard to get. Persuasion.
You're good at that.
I am.
This is going to be an abusive roll of like 34, maybe a 35.
Probably.
Not quite. It's only a 31.
See? What did I say?
It's just a
Not
31.
abusive.
Completely legitimate.
Sorry, you're right. I over-exaggerated. Being above 30 isn't abusive. It's not. A Trask isn't like, what, 20?
You're thinking of the word excessive. Abusive is a very different word.
You're right.
That's fair. That is
I can't argue with that logic, but you got my point.
I did get your point. But yes, it was a 31.
Okay. It is nudie. Thank you.
But yeah, Martel will leave the handmaiden to her thoughts, if that's what the handmaiden wants. And she will leave the dimension door.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was going to say tiptoe past Lithian, but Martel could literally try and stomp past Lithian and it would make no noise.
You're correct.
And, you
And
still wouldn't-
also, yeah, even if you didn't make noise, still wouldn't wake her up.
Wouldn't wake her
You
up.
could be a rhinoceros dressed as Martel and it wouldn't wake Lithian up.
Yeah, after
That's
the
a
day
very-
Lithian's had. She's going to be sleeping a while, I'm sure.
In a day.
Yeah. But yeah, outside of that, she'll probably go back down to get some food, chit chat with Hasvard, do Martel's usual daily stuff. So,
all right,
Tajira, if you were looking for Martel, she'd probably be down eating food.
Teach me about the game. Be teaching me the game.
Yeah, I can teach you lords and ladies. Martel,
Yeah,
try and teach some lords and ladies.
And the word game is what I mean too. Like
the word game.
Yeah, the Albion word game that you guys apparently play. Like you've talked about it before, so I'm curious about it.
So you can just explain what it means to start, let alone trying to teach Hasvard it.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, Martel starts by teaching you the basics of doublespeak. So saying something that sounds like it means one thing, but really means another.
I do that all the time by accident.
Yes, you would be very good at this game if we could harness it and actually make you be dishonest.
Hasbar just kind of blinks at you. Yeah.
Well, it's okay. One liar in the party is enough.
Yeah, we're gonna do that when we play the board game at the same time. It's a perfect situation for us.
Yeah.
So
teach both at the same time.
Let's scene set a little then. So now back down in the bottom floor of the saloon. At this time of the day, it is packed. This place is very busy. There are about 100 or so occupants here. Almost all the tables are occupied, and everything is very communal. People seem to care very little for individuals who they sit next to. They just kind of find a space and make sure they get what they need or want. Staff is full and bustling. Food is coming out quickly. Drinks are being served. There are numerous tables where you can tell people have equipment. There are backpacks leaning against walls. There's a whole side of the saloon where there's just a long line of hooks where you can tell there's all kinds of gear stowed by explorers and adventurers and scavengers. There are individuals who have maps and scrolls unfurled, planning their next treks out into the wastes. And it's just a very busy place. This is the hub for people to prepare before they leave. And so you two just kind of found a quiet little one of the corner two-seaters that has a built-in Lords and Ladies board into the table. And you're just there quietly over the din of all the people playing and talking back and forth and doing a little of the finer bits and pieces of Martel's explaining not only the relevance of the game that is played in Albion, but also the relevancy of Lords and Ladies and how impactful it is not only on the game itself, but in Albion culture in general. Because all of it matters and is very important. Along with the fact that Lords and Ladies is one of those odd games where there are regional pieces. And so, like, Martel could briefly explain what the Night piece, which is exclusive to Albion, or at least the Albira Night piece, compared to what the piece up here in Iridu is, which is the construct. So that even both of you would have had to have learned the use for that piece prior to playing. But Tijera, you could find them. They even amongst this very busy, bright colored, colorful room, you can still find Martel and Hasvard sitting, playing and probably picking at a plate of food. One side of which is just covered in sugared pastries, and the other side of which is a bunch of savory, delicious things that I'm sure Hasvard is indulging in.
Oh, heck yeah. We ordered a combination platter of pastries and sweets.
The combo sampler. Fine choice.
Yeah, we really want to be stuffed fill. Like, just...
Yeah, and again, it's like really good pub food. Like, that's the expectation for this place. It's not the best... It's not like the best for you in the world, and it's not the finest, but it is reliably good.
I hate myself right now. Whew.
Uh-huh.
All right. Anyway, Tajira, you managed to find them. Take it away.
I've been talking. How busy is it?
Busy. There are 100 plus people in this establishment. It is basically, if you're standing, if you're not sitting, you're standing, and it's almost elbow to elbow. Like, people are constantly milling in between the spaces, the tables of maybe. Packed place.
She is gonna see what's happening, and she'll go to Martel and whisper in her ear, and she'll say, "I had a dream about your sister."
Oh, how is she? Nobody has seen her in a long time.
Being tortured.
Maybe this isn't the place to talk about this.
I'm not sure you can hear. I'm whispering in her ear.
Valid.
I'm not sure if Martel is whispering back, but
I guess
She
that's
began-
important.
I mean, if Tajira is whispering to Martel, Martel will whisper back to Tajira.
Yeah.
In which case,
Tajira wants to
Hasvard,
keep this quiet.
your passive perception is not good enough to eavesdrop on them, even though your proximity is pretty close. It's very loud in this place. You guys can have to talk like this when you're just sitting across from one another. You know, one of those.
do you want to speak of this dream somewhere else? I do not know what it would be like to have over yours.
Sure, we can speak of this if you wish. Shall we go to your room?
She'll nod and look in and ask if we should invite Hasford.
Alta shrugs. You are the one whispering to me. It is your choice on who you want to include in this.
And she'll gesture to follow.
Hazivard stands up, slides under the table, and follows after you guys.
You guys retreat from the bottom floor back to one of the rooms. And you notice as you're ascending the stairs, the tables quickly commandeer.
I brought some of my breakfast with me.
Of course.
Oh, Martel's got a stack of pastries.
Okay, good. We had the same idea. Yeah.
So you all head back to Zira's room.
Once we're sequestered, she'll relate what happened in the dream. And leaving the last conversation, the first conversation that she heard for last, but basically describing how she thought that she was being tortured or imprisoned in some way. I had conversations that I heard. There were 5 words: dragon, shadowed, luck, missing, and found. I do not know what it was. It sounded like a regular conversation, but I couldn't hear the rest of the words. I suppose we should tell the rest of the party, but I thought you would want to know first.
Yeah, Martel just nods. That is interesting to know. But I am cautious about any information coming in these days. It seems strange to me that a supposed Tyrek shows up, and then suddenly his sister is heard from for the first time in millennia, claiming to be tortured.
She did not. If I remember correctly, she didn't claim to
Also,
be tortured.
very strangely, she appeared to you. One of the only people who met this new Tyrek.
It is possible. What she did ask for, though, is to find her brother. And I do not know if that means that we would lead this new Tyrek to the Tyrek we knew. Perhaps it is, as you say, a bait for us to lead him to Tyrek? The real Tyrek? The Tyrek we knew?
Perhaps.
I do not know if we would can't, but if we were to find him next, if we were to search for him, we perhaps might put him in more danger.
We'll be honest. I have no faith in this supposed new Tyrek. I have no faith in what he says or in what he is trying to do. I know that my Tyrek has asked us to go on a mission to rebuild a dragon, to bring order and balance back to this world, fight against chaos. And as far as I can tell, the most chaotic thing that could happen to us at this moment is doubting the God that has sent us on this mission.
That is why I tend to agree with you. We do not know him, and I believe on our mission. We shall possibly tell, well, we should tell the Lithian when she wakes up.
It is your dream. It is yours to share if you wish. I feel it may be a distraction. I'm sorry, I do not wish to cast invalid things on your dreams and your visions. You have steered us right many times. I just am wary.
I am not suggesting to do anything with it. I am simply providing what I learned, and I do believe it to be true.
Miles nods. Thank you for sharing with me, Tajira.
She'll nod. And then, feeling hungry, she'll go and look for some food.
Okay. Tajira, you can head downstairs. You can work your way through the press of people and eventually make your way up to the bar and get an order for a meal put in. No problem. It will cost you 5 silver.
Does she remember seeing any street vendors?
For food?
Either? Yes.
Not for like ready to eat snacks. There was a lot of preserved food for travel.
Okay, well, she's gonna try and find that. It's feeling a little cheap.
Well, allow me to catch you before you head out. It's probably not going to be much cheaper, given that there is a need for people to have food to go out into the wilderness that'll survive here in the wastes. People take advantage of that. They do charge pretty heavily. But if you're going to buy out just like a single ration for a meal, well, actually, it's still probably going to cost. I think it's going to be like 2 silver.
Yeah, she'd rather pay the 2 silver.
Okay. You find a lovely little stall selling a bunch of various sundries for traveling out into the wastes. And you get this nicely dried, packed bar of turkey and cranberries and bread.
Oh, she'll enjoy that in our walk back.
Okay. Well, I guess the elephant in the room. When is Lithium going to wake up?
That's a great question. I would say by now she's awake. She's just getting ready for the day, and now that she's not under real strong time constraints at the moment, she's taking her time.
Sure. Alrighty.
Oh man, I wish that the Twitch chat could see the chat that is happening in the background here. It's awful.
It
It's
is.
The
killing
reason
me.
we can't put it on
That's,
Twitch
that's why
chat.
I can't see it. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
age appropriate.
Well, that's okay.
It's awful.
It's Twitch. It's probably still Twitch inappropriate.
Yes.
It's terrible. I just want everyone to know that I'm suffering. That's all.
And more than one way. All right.
Oh,
So Lithian's
Nice.
having a slow afternoon to wake up. Tajira is kind of wandering about, making way back, nibbling on a bar of hardtack, basically. What Martel, Asvard? Where you guys go after leaving Tajira's room?
Like, I'm typing in my last response, and then I guess we'd head back down to the food.
We'll go try to find another table.
Yeah, we need to hang out and wait for our sleepyhead. Well, honestly, we brought extra pastries up. We could just go wake her up with food.
Martel advises against it.
Valid. Let's go downstairs.
Let's let's warm up Kyle's dice a little. Hazard, roll me a D100. Let's see if you can find a table.
Oh yeah, that's a 1.
you're
All
kidding.
right.
That's a 1. Wait, no. Hey, look at my screen. Look at the. See? Aren't you all proud of me?
So proud of you.
You got it out of the way.
Hey,
Not
CJ.
only do we not find a
Thank
table, but some guy starts some beef with us.
My friend doesn't like you either. Well, so the sad part of the story is as you descend down the stairs, the saloon is just busy, and there doesn't seem to ever be an opportunity for you to find 2 seats next to one another. Now, if you wanted to split up, you could probably snake a seat if you were both diligently watching like vultures for an open spot.
I mean, Martel sitting is just a kindness to other people.
Like, do we just want to go sit upstairs on the floor in the room and have the pastries we already have?
You can order food to take upstairs with you, by the way. That's not frowned upon.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, they even do room
Hell
service.
yes.
You place an order and tell them what room you're in, they'll bring it to your room.
There we go.
We're going back up to the rooms.
Yep.
Yeah,
Peace
well,
to
actually,
you.
I guess I completely overlooked this particular little detail. Shame of me, because it's such a cool concept. Is basically in all of your rooms, there is a small blue button above the bed that if you press it, it will summon one of the captured wind elementals that will form itself in the room, take an order, and then go back through the ducts to deliver the order so that way it can be delivered to your room.
Neat.
Yeah, Lithian would have definitely done that then. That's funny. I also have a sending to Dane that I want to do.
All right. Well, what's Lithian ordering, just so we have an idea of what to expect.
She asks what the nicest thing on the menu is.
Well, there is a menu in the room.
Okay.
Because the wind elemental is going to have a hell of a time trying to talk to you.
That's a good point.
But it can sort of try to gesture at the menu with a slightly, amorphous hand. It seems to have some pretty strong opinions about what it thinks is the best thing on the menu.
She'll order whatever the equivalent to like an eggs Benedict is.
Fair. Doable. It's funny, they do have a poached egg dish. But it's there are actually lizard eggs that do the egg substitution here. They're actually relatively famous because they've got these very pretty but slightly eerie teal-colored yolks.
Ooh.
But all right, one lizard eggs Benedict, no problem. The elemental will rush off back down the vent. All right, now for the important part, the sending.
Yeah. Whew. All right. The stress of counting words.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's.
I love the hands.
It's just. All right. Cast sending. I have a lot to tell you. You've counted too many words there. I'm at 7. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm bad at this apparently, but continue.
I have many questions. I hope you can slightly help with. Maybe see you soon. That's it.
Okay.
We're done.
Counting actually was correct, CJ. I think somebody, no naming names, is trying to tell you that a lot is one word.
No?
I counted 8 as well at that point.
I have a lot to tell you. 7. Jesus.
No, yeah, no. I went back and individually that was 7.
Well, I don't know where I was. CJ and I were hearing a phantom
It's a
word.
good thing that I'm counting too. Jeez.
Because everyone else
Well, you were
counting
well
in the room was
short the
wrong.
limit anyways.
We were. I had 3 words left, so. Whether or not that was correct at this point, I don't know, but I guess it doesn't matter. The sending response comes quickly. I suppose it's your turn to be vague. Plenty of developments in the city since you've left, but nothing of any significant danger. I've made new friends. Bye.
What? New friends can't be the kind of friends that I think that they are. Or maybe they are, and now I'm confused. And concerned.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, I guess you gotta wait until tomorrow to sending again and find out.
Although I suppose we did create a meeting for him at one point.
Mhm.
Maybe those are new friends.
Absolutely possible. You know, Dane sees a lot of people. He isn't a shut-in. He just doesn't like people most of the time.
Yeah.
All right, well, eventually, and appropriately timed, Martel and Hasvard, you guys will return upstairs after having placed your order, and you'll see, arriving to Lithian's room, is a well-dressed gentleman holding a silver tray, and he's currently knocking on the door to Lithian's room. Room service?
It's open.
He will very quietly open the door, stride over towards the bed, and place it on the side table. And then he'll turn, and then just before exiting, is there anything else you would like?
This is wonderful. Thank you.
Very well. If you have any further assistance or any need, press the button again. Thank you. And he'll turn and exit the room, and will then kind of summarily pass by Hasvard and Martel with a smile.
Good morning.
Not to be a stickler. Did I have to pay for that? Okay.
Probably.
You probably already paid for it.
Like, did my generous tip pay for my food?
That might have been a consideration. They know what room you're in. So when they go, oh yeah, the person that overpaid us ordered food, I guess we just give it to them.
Cool. Oh, good morning.
Martel Hazard arrived.
Looks like you don't need any pastries.
No, thank you. I think Martel can handle those.
Yes, I certainly can. Would you like company for breakfast, or would you prefer to be alone?
He like pauses for a minute. You can come in if you'd like.
Martel will happily go in.
Find a comfy spot on the floor.
Yep,
Picnic
because
time.
there's no other place to sit except the bed.
Lay out my robe. Sit on my robe. Picnic.
Is Tajira with you guys or no? No,
Yeah,
that's right.
It's a good question. Tajira, where'd you go?
She went walking for her breakfast, remember?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she went down
and
before
Yeah,
us.
where'd you go?
wander down to the market for some rations.
Where'd you go after that?
She'll come back. Probably back to the room to see if you two are still playing. And then if you're not there, then probably to find you
Yeah,
somewhere.
you would have found us.
Hmm.
Chatting and eating pastries.
Mhm.
Martel absolutely abusing this room service thing.
She'll just sit and watch.
River of servers coming up and down the stairs delivering Martel pastries.
Well, I suppose we need to talk about where we're going.
And where we can find Snow. I forgot where we were supposed to meet her.
Do you think she's back yet?
Probably have to wait a couple days for her to return.
Oh, that's valid.
We beat her here, I think.
We were quite fast.
If
Does that mean we could go somewhere else for a day and then come back the following day? Or do we not want to,
I would be more than happy to keep these rooms, but I would like to go and talk to my brother, if we can.
Odds. I think that is fine, but I think we do need to come back here afterwards. We still need to get the other half of your artifact.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I haven't forgotten. That's why
yeah, but if
keep the
Snow's not coming back for a few days, we won't have a guide to get to the other city. So we have a few
Yes.
days to be able to go somewhere, do something, and then come back.
That's why I would
Yes, of course.
keep this room so I have somewhere to come back to. That's not the weird place.
That's valid. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you went downstairs and offered them some gold in advance, they would book the rooms for you.
Yeah.
Let's go reserve our rooms and go see our brother.
All right. After finishing eating, Lethine will go and pay for her room ahead for the next 4 days. Yeah.
Okay.
4 days is a safe bet, right?
All right. 4 days is 20 gold.
Cool. Give him 3 platinum.
This is the bartender. All right, I actually have to make sure. You know, I said 20, right? This is valued at 30. Just I have to make sure you know how you're counting.
I do.
Okay. Appreciate the tip.
I believe in treating waitstaff well.
It's appreciated. We all sincerely appreciate it. Just had to make sure. You'd be surprised kinds of people we get that come in here that don't realize what they're doing sometimes. I just had to know.
I appreciate your honesty.
And Lithian, it's actually at this point when you're sort of down there, you finally, worked out all the aches from the waking up process and had a breakfast of, again, pretty good food. When you're downstairs and you work your way through the press of people, there's actually a section where there is a relatively unusual looking piano type, which honestly mirrors a little bit of what you saw back in the city, in the room where Kalura's skull was being kept. That same sort of unusual, heavily mechanical piano. And there's someone currently playing it, and it's a very upbeat, high tempo kind of song. And off to the side of that, there's a raised stage where there are a couple of musicians currently awaiting, and you watch as someone climbs up onto the stage, and it takes a long moment for you to realize who it is. And then after a couple of moments of staring at them as they turn around and they're tuning their lute, you realize it's the handmaiden. Except she's not wearing any of her garb. She is what you would consider dressed down. So much so you think she probably stopped in the market and bought a change of clothes. The best way to put this is she now went from conservative nun to punk rock guitarist is the best way to put this.
It's the natural progression of life.
Oh yeah, isn't it? It's how you meet so many nun to punk rock guitarists on the street every day. It's weird.
Why
Yeah.
are they teenage girls?
But a lot of leather, like knee-high boots, buckles, a tattered and worn tunic that is slightly too large. There's a chain shirt underneath it, and just her long golden blonde hair is just let completely loose. And kind of like Marty McFly in Back to the Future, where when he opens up with Johnny B. Good, that's kind of what starts on the stage. It's just a type of music a lot of these people you can tell have never really heard before, but it's got so much energy behind it. She just goes. And a lot of people kind of eventually start vibing with it. It begins to sort of fill the room.
Hang around and watch.
It's a really good performance. So much so you feel inspired. Have a D10 Bardic Inspiration die.
Ooh.
So much so it looks like she's really inspired the whole room. Yeah, this seems like a completely different side to her. Let alone, I mean, like literally, like metaphorically and physically. Just so many details and aspects of her you've never seen before, which also really brings home to the fact that now that you can sort of see it up and down her hands and her forearms, the parts that are exposed, she's got a lot of scars on her. Same for like across her midriff and up in parts of her neck. There's probably a reason why she wore the sort of garb that she did prior to this. But she has sort of come out of her shell. Looks like everyone handles shock in their own ways.
Is it just Lithian there, or is it all of us?
I assume you all would have eventually made your way down, given the conversation of extending your stay.
So D10, yay!
Yeah, it lasts for 10 minutes, so if that comes up.
Yeah, no, Martel just watched the performance as well. her usual urge to get up and dance, somewhat curtailed by the fact that the handmaiden may be going through something.
Not a phase. This is who I
Yeah.
am now.
Okay, honey.
But when the performance is done, Martel will approach. Say, that was beautiful, handmaiden, if that's still how you self-identify.
Sweat running down her face. She just sort of takes a moment, looks at the musician she's sort of standing with, and looks back at you. Really don't think I have much of a need for that name anymore. I am decidedly finished with being a pawn.
What can we call you?
You can call me Sakala. Putting it in chat.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the Roll20 chat. And I'll put it in the Discord chat.
Yeah.
Well, and that answer sort of affirms which one it should go into. Thank you.
It's a lot of A's.
It is. That's why the second part is a little longer.
Well, Skala, we are going to be heading to Goliath. If you'd like to join us. And I was
Well,
reading it, still misspelled it.
I would make the foolish assumption and say, well, if you need me, I would travel along with you, but I traveled with you long enough to understand that you would need me. So leaving it up to you sort of defeats the purpose of the choice I have made here.
Well, not.
I think, for the time being, I am going to stay here. Quite a bit to these cities. A lot of interesting people. I think I will take some time to get to know them.
Well, I wish you luck and happiness in your endeavor.
Thanks for all your
I hope that wherever you go, you remember that I'm always your friend.
We will miss you.
Just don't any of you die without me. Well,
No promises.
yes, I realized I said that. It's actually quite likely without me being present. Well,
We'll miss you.
don't die stupidly then.
That's also pretty likely without you here.
Well, then it was doomed from the beginning. But, and she stops herself. May you find... She sort of drums her fingers on the lute. May you find good fortune wherever you go ahead.
Ew. Martel will go in for a hug and then stop herself, knowing the handmaid, or Sakala, a little bit, and she'll just hold out her hand for a handshake.
She'll, kind of lean down, sitting on the edge of the stage, and then extend her hand and shake yours. Well, hope to see you again sometime.
And maybe we'll crash your party.
She smirks. Well, I would expect you to. That's how you got your name, isn't that right?
It is what we do.
Well,
Coming back through here in a couple of days. We'll hopefully see you then.
who knows? You might. Safe travels.
Oh,
Hmm. Go on.
I was just gonna say I like that it took her leaving us for Hasbard to accept her as a friend.
Wow.
Not my words.
So that's a double speak way of thinking about it, but fine.
You're learning.
Yeah, I'll head off. Or whatever we're going to do. I imagine we're not going to just poof out of here in the middle of the crowded room.
No.
It'd be really hard to. I think a lot of people would trip through the warp ring and end up in
That would
Gelly.
be hilarious.
And that would be bad. For the record, you
That
could
would be
actually
so
do that.
funny.
For the record,
Oh.
yeah, it's not out of the question. If you shove someone through the hole in the ground, they will end up on the other side. So, you know, as a future tactic, that's plausible.
Oh, wait. I have a really bad question to ask. If we got familiar with a really deep area of the ocean and then put that up against a wall and like try to open it in that way, could you have like a high pressurized jet of just water coming out of the hole?
Yeah? Yes. The struggle is you'd have to get familiar with a deep enough part of the ocean. I think that is more of the troublesome part of that idea.
Yeah, that's valid. Doable, but valid.
It is doable. There are Tritons that live down there. Not weird.
And we're musing this as we're walking back to, I'm gonna guess, our room.
One of your rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is anyone else reserving their rooms ahead of time?
Oh, well, now that
Yes.
we've lost the handmaiden, yes.
Oh, now that our free meals and bedding are gone, I guess we should pay some money to do stuff.
Well, look,
I mean, you say that like it's, you know, like we're being like, oh, we're so selfish, but that's literally
No,
what our
not at
spell is for.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's actually what I'm saying.
So that's 20 gold for the few weeks.
For 4 days.
Oh, yeah, sorry, 4 days. Oh my gosh, this place is expensive.
Yeah. Think about where you are and the level of skill it's required to survive. These kinds of people have this kind of money.
It's valid.
It's a very high density, coin density sort of area. Yeah. Inflation. What are you going to do about it?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing now.
It's also probably the reason why you'll never open up a branch of the peppered pumpkin here.
Yeah, no, we are not this kind of place. I'm definitely a low level area kind of proprietor.
Yeah. I would like to open up my my tavern, an inn in towns of level 1 to 4, please.
Please. Where I can protect littleins and, you know, make sure that that they're safe.
I will split the cost of a room with somebody. Because, I mean, this isn't Martel trying to be cheap. She just genuinely doesn't like being alone at night.
The thing will offer space.
Okay.
So
don't
you have to pay
anything.
nothing.
All right, well, that works too.
Anyone else reserving a room, you know the deal.
Yeah, 20
It's
gold.
20 gold for 4 days.
Let's go see Dane!
So I will set the ring to put us right outside of his workspace. Putting us in his workspace would be a stupid idea. So we'll be outside of it.
You also know you physically couldn't.
Yeah.
His workspace is warded to prevent it. Granted, he thinks you couldn't. You could try and find out.
Oh,
No, I don't.
His magic against the hammer?
I don't want to
Mm.
put that on him right now.
Yeah, make him feel obsolete or incompetent.
Later, not right now.
It would be sort of important to find out, but yeah, you're right. Okay. So you go up to, let's just assume Lithian's room. That seems like the headquarters room. And you place the ring on the floor, thinking about the space outside of Dane's laboratory. You see the familiar dark stone halls, and you step through one after the other, landing abruptly on the other side, falling through the portal where you sort of have to. You're getting used to it. You sort of reorient yourself as you go through, because you step through downwards on that side, but then you're stepping out of it on the other. So there's a weird little moment of vertigo, but you're getting used to it now after the second time. And you reach through and pick up the ring, place it back on your finger, and there before you is the familiar, heavily locked door belonging to your brother's laboratory.
I'm gonna knock on it.
There is a long silence, followed by a very dim sounding voice on the other side. It's like, 1 second, hang on. And then you hear something sort of fall and crash, and eventually he swings open the door. How can I? Oh, you're here. Wasn't
Hi.
expecting you back so soon.
Magic.
We have new toys.
Do tell.
Well, let us in.
By all means, come in. Don't touch anything. You know the rules.
Oh, I have something for you.
We have quite a few things for you. Well, she has the exciting thing. I have random.
All right. Well, he'll bring you guys over to a somewhat empty table. Just begin gathering your things. Hasvard, how's the brand holding up? Is that doing well?
It's great. Haven't felt a single kickback.
Good. I was concerned it might have killed you, but since you're alive, I think it took. Nice.
I'll just pull out of my pocket the one piece of gold from the dragon's lair and just hand it to him.
Okay. Interesting minting. I don't know where from.
Well, you see, I got this from a dragon's hoard. So I thought you'd enjoy it.
Well, I don't know what civilization this is from, so it certainly is interesting. And the fact that an actual dragon has touched this is also interesting. A fine addition to the collection. And he'll take it and sort of flick it off into the air, and a little spectral hand will materialize around it and carry it up to a high shelf where there's a similar several rows of glass cases of dozens of coins. And the hand will slowly begin manipulating all the various panels to slide it into a new slot and lock it away.
Lithian will look at everyone else and see, I told you it was a good gift.
Coins carry with them a
Martel's
great deal of
kinda-
history.
Yeah, Martel just reach into the bag of holding and be like, "And I got you this," and she'll pull out that elemental. I don't know, jewel, whatever.
The one Morgana gave you?
Yeah, the one Morgana gave us.
Ah, right.
It was
You pulled it
had
out.
the soul of a elemental trapped in there.
Yeah, of a primordial fire element. So you pull it out,
Yeah.
and the room instantly heats up. Whereas it was kind of, tepid and cool before. Now it's a solid 40 degrees Celsius, over 120 degrees Fahrenheit, just almost instantly.
Oof.
Yeah, a lot of us know what that feels like right now, huh? And it's just oh, okay. That is very interesting. Do you know what it is? And he's currently walking over another part of the lab, trying to find a box appropriately to contain it.
Martel's just still smiling, holding it out, stretched. It's a primordial fire elemental soul trapped inside this. Can I put it down? I think it's going to melt my hands.
Well, yes, if you're going to melt your hands off, you should definitely put it on the table, and then I can fix the table if necessary. I think it's a great deal easier than fixing your hands. Oh boy. And he's, yeah, he's just like...
Skips over to the table and puts it down, looks at her hands.
Yeah. She said it was surprisingly pure, I believe, or that it was a complete soul, which is very rare nowadays.
Alright, Martel, you'll suffer 11 fire damage.
Worth it.
Eventually he'll come back.
Especially with that roll to hide the pain. Nobody knows Martel's feeling it.
Yeah, I rolled 3d10. I rolled very poorly. It could have been way worse.
Yes.
Dane will come back with a container made of glass and metal. Remove the top. It's got these interlocking arms on it. He'll twist it open and daintily try to use a mage hand to pick it up, and it just instantly dissipates the mage hand. He just sort of huffs. And then he weaves another spell, and then it just begins floating as he stares at it, and he'll just settle it into the container and then twist it shut and lock it. All right. Well, these are both fascinating entries for me to have and study. It is greatly appreciated. Were you successful in your endeavor finding the card?
Yes.
I feel like there's a butt coming. I can hear it.
Well, this is a very long story, and we should really sit down.
All right. Should I write all of the story down as well for posterity?
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to.
All right. And the last question. Do you want to be someplace comfortable or someplace secure, or both?
Both.
Definitely both.
Both is
All
good.
right. We'll go to the
Yes,
second...
go, Tim.
We'll go to the second meeting room.
Okay.
And he sort of turns on his heel and opens the door and ushers all of you out, and then we'll take you through another lovely walk of the Keyrell estate, to which you get to once again take in the lavishness and of course the cultural difference of the Keyrell's estate in the influences from their homeland of Salombra, and a lot of the changes that the Keyrell family have made over the decades of being here on Runan. Eventually, you come to a large set of double dark wood doors, to which they open upon Dane's approach, and you walk through. It's almost identical to the room to when you met Lady Keyrell, except it's about half the size. It's almost funnily like half scale, like someone just sized it down. Everything is a little less large, but still perfectly suitable for all of you to sit. Dane will wave his hands and all the chairs will scooch back for you to have a seat. And then he walks up to one of the chairs near the front of the table, and then will sit down himself. And then will cast another spell that conjures a semi-spectral figure next to him, to which he then pulls several sheets of parchment out from somewhere underneath the table and then hands it to the creature in a quill. Okay. Have a seat, get comfortable, and begin. And for posterity's sake, you can,
I was gonna say, sparing no detail,
Yes.
if you just give them the rundown of the last 7 or so days, or however long it's been.
so basically the whole journey.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
so
there's
needless
been
to say, this is
interesting
going to take a couple of hours.
I bring out notebook and I show him the little hand drawings and whatnot of certain things that she's talking about, like the crystals that were admitting the wild magic or affecting with the wild magic and whatnot. I show him a piece of one of the crystals that we brought with us, and all of everything else as well.
Yeah. do you also show him some of those nifty tents that you've also sequestered away? A lot of you?
Yeah.
From the researchers you found frozen to death in the snow?
Yeah.
Yeah. He finds everything very interesting. But of course, it's one of those, as the story progresses, he has like a face that just goes, I have more questions than I did a few minutes ago. And it just escalates. Because at first, he was just kind of like stopping the story and then interjecting and asking a question about something or a detail about where something might have gone to. Like the initial one being the Everice fragment that you guys found. Going, is it still in your possession? Would I be able to see it? You know, things of that nature. And then after a certain point, things just kind of kept just getting more intense. So he just stopped asking questions and just began listening. Eventually, you would have some food and drinks delivered as well, to which everything is halted for a moment while the servant brings them in, and then once the doors are sealed shut again, everything would sort of begin again. And as per usual, in the Keyrell estate, no expenses spared. Everything is fine. The food, the hors d'oeuvres, eventually the meal that is brought later, given how long you spend time in here, and the various drinks that are requested are all just amazing. Especially even compared to the saloon, which you just had a chance of a little bit of comfort, this is miles above. And eventually, at the end of it, he just sort of leans back into the chair, just kind of, you did all that in a week.
Yeah. I didn't realize how few days it was myself until just telling that, and that's ridiculous. No wonder I'm so tired.
I don't even know where to begin. I have significantly more questions that I could probably we could spend a whole day in this room with questions.
We have time.
Do you? It doesn't actually sound like you have time. You're still on a timeline.
Yeah.
Well, we have a few days. We're waiting until our guide returns to take us back out into the cold. So
We could technically do other things at the same time, though, is I think what he's more referring to,
Yes, a lot can be done in a few days.
as was just described.
Yes, an excellent example of what you can get up to in a few days. I don't advise doing that again.
well, we're going back out there, so
Well, try not to cross any more hidden ancient dragons, worshippers to an evil dark secrets cultists, finding sects of zealots trying to resurrect an ancient forge that might undo reality as we know it, or restoring any previously unknown dead gods to existence. I don't even know what to consider that whole situation. Needless to say, don't do that again so soon. I don't think the universe can handle it.
it's not like we tried.
And that's the part that scares me more. Imagine if you guys actually tried to do something else.
Yes, that would be insane.
Well, is there anything you plan on doing for the next couple of days? You seem to have a easier way to get around now that isn't tied to a spellcaster such as myself.
I guess dropping off what we collected.
We haven't really talked about. I just wanted to come and talk to you because you have answers to some of my questions too. Or at least we can talk things out, maybe, and get some answers.
Right. All right. Well, given my list is far too long to be reasonably answered right now, how about you ask me your questions?
Well, currently, the most pressing questions all have to do with Tyr.
All right, I'm the furthest thing from an expert on him, but I can probably do my best. I've read quite a bit of history.
It's not necessarily him specifically, it's the situation. Like, have you ever heard of anything like this before?
A second god claiming to be the same god appearing?
Not that. Well, I mean, yeah, that claiming to be the same god and also showing power.
He sort of just like throws his hands up in the air, but like not defeated, but just uncertain. And he leans forward and laces his fingers together, plants his chin on them. So my understanding of things. This world is infinitely complex, more than you or I will ever understand in our lifetimes, which is saying something. But for as long as this universe has existed, as we've learned there's more than one now, there have always been people that have acquired a lot of power more than others. And there are limits that we don't fully understand what they are for them. So, is it possible that a second entity showing up and claiming the name of Tyric and showing a significant amount of power, especially within the same area of that god, possible? Absolutely. Now, is it a good thing? Absolutely not. There is a reason why you don't see multiple different gods sharing similar traits. The system, near as I understand it, just won't function like that. So, the end of that is going to require one or the other one to either step down or kill them. Given, well, what I know about Tyric in general, if they're both claiming to be Tyric, they both have the sort of haughty attitude that they're better than the other one, so they'll probably end up killing each other first.
Or another god will kill them and try and take their powers. Who knows?
Not another god, but another being of power, absolutely. What's currently happening with the portfolio of death, as I'm sure some of you are keenly aware. There's a whole cosmic war going on right now that none of us can see.
Don't understand how we keep getting tangled up in it like this.
I kind of slowly turn to Lithian with a slightly confused look on my face.
Don't look at me like that.
But we're literally working for a god.
I know.
You did sort of choose this.
Yeah, this isn't. We're gonna be tangled up in it regardless of what happens or where we go now.
Well, and let's be honest, if you go after the second half of that axe, you're going to draw more attention to you anyway.
Yep, Lithian.
Somebody somewhere is going to realize that thing is awakened again and either want it or want to destroy it. There's probably a very good reason why it was split up and broken in the first place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as for that situation, I don't really... I certainly cannot help with it. Unless I can speak to one or both of the Tyrics to figure out what information is accurate and what isn't. But I somehow doubt either of them either going to be truthful or forthcoming. One of those double-edged swords dealing with gods.
Yeah, well, you're gonna believe both of them regardless of which one it is, because, well, how do you tell?
Well, you go in assuming both of them are going to lie to you, and then you work backwards trying to figure out what of the nuggets of truth exist in all their lies. That would be how I'd approach it.
And also the question about what you said about the Hammer of Amaron and potentially unraveling the world.
Oh well, sorry. That was my my brain, just forming a hypothesis as to the implications of another battery existing that can create life from its purest essence, and it being in the hands of mortals. Given that that power has only ever existed in the hands of gods. So, while a lot of individuals might not agree with or like gods, they do, by their nature and their position, have the advantage of a much broader perspective and understanding of the universe in terms of how creating a particular item or object could potentially set a bunch of things tumbling and cause a ripple effect. Well, mortals don't really have that ability. So when mortals have that, and they decide to do something with it that could be on a scale grand enough, it could set the whole world off balance. Maybe even literally.
I see. I think you would really like them, though.
I will certainly have to visit someday.
Honestly, I think you'd like Mel.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, a traveling group of warrior priests for a non-god based entity of creation is fascinating unto itself. I could spend a whole century studying them and their culture, let alone actually getting to know them or watching any of their process.
Yeah, them working at the forge is something.
Granted, just incredibly busy here as it is. Got involved in a new project while you were away.
Oh, what?
I'm sworn to secrecy, but it involves your friend Sarah.
That's such a tease. You should, like, can you give us a hint?
No, absolutely not.
Come on.
I would have to kill you.
Is,
And he's-
is-
Rest
And
of
he
us
says
live.
it with such a deadpan face. Like he was kind of like half like entertaining the back and forth, and then the moment he said it, all of it was gone. It was just
and
a half pout.
is she the new friend you were talking about, or are there other friends?
I've met some of her extended family. So that is who I was referring to.
See. Actual friends. All right.
Yes, something like that. They're all very good people. I've only been working with them for several days, but I think it's maybe too soon to call them friends, but I do appreciate their company. And the thing they've brought me in on is very fascinating work.
Is it Mir and Doma that you've met?
Yes, and her other sibling. She has another sister that goes by the name of Rahael. I've honestly not had too many extended conversations with her. She's very brooding.
We didn't meet her, but Mir also tends to dominate conversation.
She does.
She won't let me talk.
And when guided in conversation, she is vastly more intelligent than a lot of the scholars I've met in my life.
Yeah.
But as I said, before we continue on this tangent and you trying to make me say something that I'll have to kill you over, we're going to change subjects. Do you have any plans to do anything in the city, or are you just going to bide your time and recover from the journey?
I have a few letters to send. I'm going to stop at the bank as well. Maybe a little bit of shopping and selling. Who knows?
Well, you should. You have a limited window of time.
Well, yes. I was more meaning in the sense of I don't really know where I'm going to go.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
Best place to sell things like this holds up the iridescent chainmail.
oh, that's a toughie. That one I really don't know. Hmm. No, I really don't have anything for you. If you think a warrior might take a shining to it, you could always go to the 7th district, but they tend to do more trades with goods than actual currency.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you could always go to the 1st or 5th districts.
Is there any auctions?
Yes, in the 5th. The school sells a lot of the magical goods that they have their students create. But anyone that comes with magical items can have their item put up for auction. Granted, there is the risk of making far less money than anticipated in case the auction doesn't go well.
Mm-hmm. That's just on me for not giving it a good enough sell.
If you can convince them for you to do the auctioneering, perhaps, yes.
I was just meaning the taglines. Sometimes the way you word things is important.
Yes, there might be some value in where it's come from. I would definitely agree
Exactly.
with that. That being said, it does look like it's finally made and well enchanted. I do suspect it'll fetch you a tidy sum of gold. Don't allow me to hold you up. You should be using your time wisely. You all are in a race against chaos, after all.
Yeah. Well, that's the other question that we all need to talk about is the fact that this other Tyrek has a bunch of cards and what we're gonna do about that.
Oh,
Is there something we can do about that? Because I don't know if we could have fought him.
if there was ever a time to pick a fight with him, it would have been while he was in a less informed, probably weakened state, versus when he had all of his memories returned to him.
Finger guns at Dane.
If that is in fact the true or original Tyrek, whatever you want to go on, the original Tyrek fought in the Great Creation War since its inception. He would be an exceptionally dangerous adversary to ever pick a fight with. That being said, and Dane furrows his brow a little, my understanding of the cards is that title bearers should not be able to handle them. So how is he in possession of a deck?
He's not a title bearer.
Well, then that would destroy the theory that he is the original Terry.
Yep.
Or because he is in flux in his position, he is not considered one. I don't.
Elle just kind of rolls her eyes. I do not know why everybody keeps doubting when I say he is a usurper. Evidence piles up.
I'm not doubting, I'm merely considering the options.
No, I did not mean you.
Truly, I don't know. I'm not out here saying one way or the other, but we have to consider all potential options here. Because this is a dangerous game.
Apt choice of words. Oh, were any of you able to get a look at the cards he possessed? Perhaps that would give us an idea as to where they came from.
I saw that there was 10 of them. He unfortunately did not show us the face side.
He kept them guarded.
As would make sense. You've given me a lot to think about. Unfortunately, I don't really have much in the way of answers for a lot of this, given that is, until less than 10 days ago, well above what I was currently thinking about in my day-to-day life. I would suggest maybe speaking to Mother about it. But she's currently away. You'd have to wait for her return, which I don't believe will be for another 5 days.
Well, sounds like we go fetch the second half of my act. Return to the hammer for our toys. And maybe come back.
Again, I would like to vote to take the card we currently possess, hand it off to people that are better apt to protect it. Oh wait, they're not even allowed to hold on to it, are they? We can't hand it to Siri.
Do you... Is it...
No, I already took care of that.
Wait, what?
I took care of the card.
What did you do with it?
We've done with every card. I gave it to Tyrek.
This is the first card we've successfully got.
Oh, yes. For some reason, I thought we were better than this. What we meant to do with every card.
But he was able to take it?
Martel nods.
Interesting.
They were planning on using the cards to create a new dragon, but they have plans and contingencies for handling them.
All they need to do is have someone mortal with them act as the card bearer in their presence. It really isn't that difficult of a concept to imagine.
Martel nods.
Did you hand it off to Tyrek specifically? Or did you hand it to some another mortal?
Oh, right, me, yes, Sorry, I'm spacing out. That's my bad. Oh, I gave it to Tyrek.
Is it that they can't?
At least somebody who looked like him.
So let me clarify with you, Dane. Is it that they cannot keep the cards, or that they cannot hold them, period? The title bearers.
Again, I'm not an expert on the rules, but as it was explained to me not all that long ago, title bearers cannot handle the cards. They're supposed to be contingencies to deal with title bearers. It would make no sense for them to exist and allow title bearers to use them.
I think my brain is going to explode out of my head.
So both Tyreks can technically handle cards then.
Are they sharing half power? Maybe that's why?
Or maybe the Tyrek it was handed to was the same Tyrek you got it from.
It's a possibility.
That'd be rude.
Oh, I have my doubts about that, but I suppose it is technically possible.
No one ever said this game you entered into
I
was a
mean,
simple
no
one.
offense to you, Dane, Perhaps Dane does not understand all the rules of the cards.
Well, I'm no scholar in this. Certainly don't understand the cosmic rules set out by deities that change or alter the universe on a whim. The person
Well,
to
no,
ask these questions to would be the person responsible for overseeing them. The being that lives on the island with the volcano. I believe you've been in their presence before.
Yes. Well, a few of them.
Well,
Although this is all very interesting and speculative, I do think it is still just a distraction from the mission of gathering cards.
Which again, did we get another scroll? Like when you handed it off?
No, we'll have to wait for that. I told him that we were going to take care of Lithian's deafact first. Given the danger that's swirling around us, I would rather have Lithian at full power, I suppose.
I mean, we can certainly do more than one thing at a time. We've clearly accomplished a lot in the last week. We can investigate this while still collecting cards.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be another stack of cards in the next tower.
do we think there'll be another card waiting for you where the deafact is?
That's what I meant. Yep.
You never know.
Well, then I suppose it would be best to ask.
Well, I didn't get a meeting with Tierig.
Martel, when you met him, did you tell him about the usurper? What did he say?
He said he felt its presence, trying to wrestle control from him.
Did he seem concerned?
No, absolutely. Would you not be? If somebody showed up claiming to be you, trying to take everything that is yours and your life?
Oh, sure, but I didn't know if he would show it or not.
Well, believe it or not, I am close with him.
I believe it.
I think that was rhetorical.
Oh, I know it was.
Elle's expression doesn't change or anything, but just one of her hands drifts down to like rest on Hasward's back.
Questioning eyes.
I guess you could insight check it if you want.
Sure. I got a 3.
No. Martel put her hand on your back after you said that. Make of it what you will.
As good fun as this is, Martel's right. You should at least begin making some more concise plans for what you're doing. And whoever's responsible for making the arrangements for the next card probably ask to do so now, in case there does happen to be one somewhere nearby, lest you have to trudge out to the waste twice.
Well, this is already the second time, so what's the third?
Again, I understand that, but if there wasn't a time restriction being placed on you, that would be reason.
I am sure Tarek or one of his compatriots will contact us soon.
Well, regardless, we're stuck here for the day, so.
Time to go shopping.
Shopping episode engage. But prior to that, and after the dispersal, we're going to take our first break.
Yeah, I can turn my light on.
Yay, having a light is good.
So dark.
Yeah. As per usual, take about 10 minutes. We'll come back about a half hour past. You know, good time.
Cool beans.
So we'll be right back.
We'll fill
Be
my
right
water
back.
and have a nice, delicious breadstick.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm going to go to Twizzler.
Ooh. I have no ready-made food.
I'm sorry.
Window
I
capture.
have to, because when everything breaks down, I need to be able to eat still.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
fair.
normally do. I just haven't gone grocery shopping.
Oh, fair enough.
See how well ran that is. Okay, I'm off to get my Twizzler.
I forgot that I got cakes for Derek and my anniversary, and so now I have a cupcake.
Oh, hooray! You did have ready-made food.
I did have ready-made food. What was that? How do you set it up?
What do I do with all of these coins?
Coins?
Make an NPC? Oh, I'll get there eventually. Yeah, in our lovely Twitch that Dyer posts, you can use the coins to do things like make an NPC or name generator. I don't know. Modify a single emote. Interesting.
Your name generator is that you get to name a character.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I've saved
No.
up a bunch of stream coins too. Oh man. I will also say that when I was reading through the chat, I very nearly actually'd so hard that it made me a bit embarrassed, and I didn't.
What do you mean?
Well, technically speaking, Fry lives in Bender's closet.
Yeah.
At the end
Like,
of the episode, they move in together
yes,
back into
but
Bender's apartment, and then they open it up, and Bender's like, there's a window in the closet, and Fry opens it up, and it's like a full apartment, and he's like, oh, can't I just live here? And Bender was like, live in a closet? Humans are so strange.
I know, and that's the entire show. And like, that's why I think of it as from Fry's perspective, because unfortunately, I'm human.
Unfortunately,
That's fair.
I definitely said unfortunately.
right.
People are so down on humans, but it's what I am, so screw all of you.
It's true.
I like being a human. Beats the crap out of being like a bear or something. You're not even really aware that you are a bear.
I'm cool with being a human. I just wish that other humans didn't suck too, and I wasn't aware of it.
I have also returned.
Congratulations.
I managed to squeeze in Kyle.
CJ,
Yes, I saw that there's a Kyle cam now.
Yes. Next week I'll actually, remove the slot in the overlay to put him in there.
CJ,
Yes.
See, I was thinking I would be behind my character. I'm just kidding.
I really want to make you jealous. I
Okay.
have Cupcake Royale cupcakes. Mm-hmm.
I've had a weird craving for cupcakes this week too, so I hate it more.
It's been a while since I've had them, but Sunday is technically Derek and I's anniversary, so got some cupcakes. I'm not gonna lie, I've spent a lot of this game just watching your cat.
My cats are adorable, and I approve of this action. Macy, she's. Oh, you get it. Oh. Ready? Go get it. She goes speedy.
But she doesn't bring it back.
She will. Just it takes her. She's back with it. Hi, Macy. Hey, don't you get me? Where are you? It's right here. What are you doing? Oh, and then there's Pico. Let's see what's this. Hi, Binks. I'm being a distraction now. We should start the game. Oh no, we still have 4 minutes. I'm allowed to still be a distraction.
You are.
Oh,
Distract all you like.
That's why I'm allowing it.
I'm eating. CJ's eating.
Mm-hmm.
two boys.
Last season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine started.
Wait, what?
Yay? Question mark?
No, yes, yay. Always let a show die when it's time for it to die.
Agreed.
What day?
Like,
So the reason, I think they probably had more material. I just think there's a lot of movements that made them decide to stop, rather than them just being out of material. That's
Yeah.
why I add a question mark. Because I agree with you. I think a show should naturally end when it should end, and you're out of material for whatever it is you're writing.
do you mean that the show will get shut down because of its sense of humor, or?
I mean, no, they're doing one more season. Two, as he said in the chat there. Yeah, no, there's a lot of reasons why they're stopping. They just felt it was a good stopping point, I suppose. But yeah, they felt that it's difficult to continue doing a comedy about cops, given the current
Atmosphere.
feelings towards police.
Yeah.
Ah,
That would be tough.
that's valid.
And yeah, and I mean that's not the only reason they are stopping. I'm sure some of the actors are, getting other offers and excited to explore more options and whatever. But yeah, that was a contributing factor is the current political atmosphere.
So it's my vote's valid.
Okay, yeah, I will throw it for you again.
I started rewatching that recently because it's just such a feel-good, enjoyable show.
It really is.
Yeah. It's really funny without being like malicious, if that makes sense.
It's not
Yeah.
always. It's not about the humor at the expense of other people.
Yeah,
Turning off that fan.
except probably Charles.
I very much disliked Andy Samberg's show.
Who disliked Andy Samberg?
Me.
Oh, you.
Yes.
I don't know him.
I thought his stuff on SNL was like stupid. Not funny stupid, just stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand that. But again, like with people, he's very clearly matured through a lot of different
Oh,
phases,
yeah.
especially on being on that show, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I don't watch SNL. I've only seen like the famous stuff with Andy Samberg, and all of that stuff's really good. Like I really enjoyed the Lonely Island stuff and the whole what you say forever changed the humor of the internet. Possibly one of the most important comedic moments ever from SNL. But yeah, no,
All right.
I just haven't seen all of it.
Well, all that lovely cat shenanigans and discussion aside, we're officially back. I hit the break button. Now we're back. Okay. So, we had a bit of a long-winded meeting with Dane Kirel, Lithian's sister, explaining to him all the shenanigans you've been through. Brother, you don't know. Don't judge him.
This is true.
He
You
can be
might be
whatever-
telling me something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that was a secret coming out that he had this whole time.
That was a hell of a way to come out through the DM.
Yeah, in the narrative, nonetheless. Lithian's brother, informing him of everything you've done in the last week or so. But now you find yourself with a little bit of free time in the city of Geliath, with some spare change to spend and some magical items perhaps to have appraised or sold off. So, big city, big chunk of time. What do you want to do with it? I know Hazard has some stuff he wants to sell.
I want to sell some stuff. If anyone else wants to sell stuff, come with me, and possibly help me.
Zero go with him. There's nothing else to do.
Because I've given the shard of the crystalline pillars to Dane.
Okay.
Getting rid of that. Yeah, it's basically just the iridescent chain shirt that we really got that we're selling. I guess we could sell the smoking bottle, but So I don't know if anybody's going to use it.
Mhm.
Does anyone want a smoking bottle?
No, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm fine. Martel
Cool.
already kind of does something like that. So.
Yeah, it's valid. So yeah, those two items are probably going to be sold. I'll ask, like, does anyone think it's a decent idea to toss them on auction instead of just selling them? And by being like, yeah, this came from all the way up in the blazing ambers.
I mean,
Do what you want with it.
city to do it in, Galliath would be a really great city to do those kinds of auctions in. But it's up to you.
Oh, let's do it.
Okay. So you want to try to put that on auction.
Yeah.
So that'll take you to the 5th district where they do these sort of things. And it is not difficult to find the appropriate location by asking around. It is a large, multi-story building with gilded pillars outside and a large set of steps leading up to it. It is busy, as expected, given that the time of day is a wee bit earlier, given you have changed time zones. The interior is filled with people. There are lines on the left and right, and you can tell there are just long desks with workers behind them wearing smocks and a symbol that is a hammer with a gold ring around it, pinned to their lapels, and they are currently in the process of appraising several dozen items that various individuals have with them. And then on the far back of the room, it's this one huge long hall that's about 2 stories tall before you finally hit the ceiling. All the way back, there are several stages separated by high curtains, and you can hear various individual auctions going off with the rapid speaking and the slamming of gavels as purchases are being made and bidding wars are begun. So, do you want to go through an appraisal and figure out what they think it'll be worth, or do you want to put in to have it auctioned and you just want to set your own values?
I'm not the best at appraising things, so yeah, we'll go through an appraisal. Does it cost more?
There is a fee.
Okay. Like a percentage or just a fee?
It is a percentage based off of the perceived value of the good.
Really wish I'd asked the handmaid or Salika?
Sakala.
Sakala, to identify this before we left.
Well, I mean, you know what it is. You know, it's a enchanted chain shirt. She did check it for you.
Mm-hmm.
But that was all she was able to glean from it. The enchantment was not a complex one. It just made the chain shirt much more sturdy. So you have an idea. Again, it's a +2 chain shirt, in case that wasn't delivered to you for whatever reason.
Thank you. So should I just roll a charisma-based investigation for figuring out the price of it for myself?
Yes.
Okay, so if I change my investigation to charisma instead of intelligence, it's the same. Hey, that's useful. I rolled a 10, so it's a 23.
Well, you think if you were to go to any, upper scale blacksmith that would have enchanted goods such as this, chain shirts are sought after because they can easily fit under clothes. The enchantment is a powerful one, because it increases the defense of the item pretty substantially. you think they would run on average due to not being the most defensible, but due to the low profile nature of them. You could probably purchase one for about 8 grand. You could probably sell it if it were just a plain old +2 chain shirt for about 6. Given where it's from, you think if you can provide the appropriate description, you could probably sell it for 10 to 12 grand. More if you find a particularly interested buyer that cares about the origin, like is rather obsessed with it. Rather.
Oh, it's just the origin. So the frigid north, pretty much.
The city in particular.
Oh.
Varkelzar is rarely explored. Very few people ever return from it. A lot of people are very interested about things that come from there.
It's valid. Should I type it in? So, like, is this just a situation of go up to the front desk, be like, sup, I have an item I want to be put up. Should I just write out a card for you?
Yeah, they have a form you fill out.
Cool beans.
Yeah, which again, there's quite a bit of like bureaucracy to go through. Then of course the description, the name of the item, and then the description of the item, as you would like it to be put up for auction. And then of course at the bottom a note detailing that they take 5% of whatever the sale is.
Okay.
So take a moment and figure out about two sentences you would like for the auctioneer to use, and then we will roll some dice and see where it goes. If you need a moment, I can jump to someone else.
Yes, please. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine.
I thought that's literally what you just said.
Oh, well, I'm going to someone else. Lithian, Martel. What about you two? What are you up to? I know Tajira is tagging along with Mr. Hasvard. Are you two doing anything else different?
I would like to go see Sarah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't have anything interesting. You go.
Oh, I was just going to say, Martel would like to see Sarah. Of course, naturally, with Kayla in the position she's in, we don't have to play that out. It's just what Martel would do. We can just say that Sarah's busy or something too. I don't mind.
She is. In your and her defense, Sarah is a busy bee currently.
Yeah. But Martel would go to the temple and be like, "Oh, can I see Sarah?" And then if the answer is no, she would go off to do something else.
For the time being, we are not going to have an interaction with Sarah, but we will talk to Sarah, Kayla, and figure out if Sarah would have been in a position to have a little meetup with Martel, and if so, we can hash that out later. But in the interim, let's even assume you still have a little extra time. What would Martel go do without being able to see Sarah?
I think it's been a heavy few days of a lot of difficulty. Martel would want to go find somewhere to perform.
Okay. Seems reasonable. What kind of locale are you looking for? Because you've got a bit of a reputation.
That is fair.
You spent a year traveling, or you spent a month traveling the continent. You did shows. You did the show at Seshok's Coliseum, which was very openly accepted as one of the best shows that most people have seen there. So like, you got some pull. If you actually want to like go to a place that isn't just a casual tavern or bar, you can do that.
I think Martel would purposely look for like a decent sized venue, but not one that's like really famous. You know? someone that she could maybe give a leg up to.
Okay, so like a smaller playhouse, perhaps.
Yeah, smaller playhouse.
Okay. Well, roll me a persuasion check.
Or can do that. So I get my stats up. Sorry. I'm also trying to deal with a moth.
Mm.
31 again. Roll the 16.
How abusive of you.
I know, right? Not the worst.
No, very good. You can find a, inside Geliath, there really aren't small businesses. You have to have money in order to even have real estate inside the city walls, right?
Right.
But, to find a place that isn't famous or well known is doable. It's a little further out on the city walls. Let's put it in the 8th district. So it definitely caters more to a lot of the average like blue collar worker types, a lot of hunters, guardsmen, things of that nature, people that work for the Hunters Guild, hunt and kill monsters for a living, do honest, hard work.
Right.
And the people at the playhouse recognize you instantly when you come in. You get fangirled over a little. And essentially the owner of the playhouse will leave you with some of the cast that was there practicing, of which again they sort of fawn over you, and they run out, and they come back announcing that they've paid a bunch of runners to spread the word that Martel will be performing a show at their playhouse tonight. The Blue Finch, let's call it.
Blue Finch. Wonderful. And Martel will start planning a show.
Okay. The owner does warn you that he will not be able to pay you what you're worth, because they just don't have that kind of clientele. Given that he is greatly overestimating what you're probably thinking, but given the shows people have seen and know of you,
Right.
he's thinking you're like thousands of gold, and he's just like, I can't do that.
Yeah, no. Martel will smile at him and say, "No, I chose this venue because I felt like it was a wonderful place. I did not expect to get paid like I was at a large venue."
Well, I'll pay you a portion of the proceeds, of course, along with any of the work that you do, including putting together the show and performing in it. But up front, I can only offer you about 200 gold.
Says, "I will take 100 gold up front, and then I'll take a portion of the proceeds. As I said, I like your location. I like your theater. I would like to see it grow."
The owner is humbled by you, but is very willing and happy to help you basically do whatever you want. You basically take over this playhouse for the day, Martel.
I don't have anything prepared, so...
Well, I guess you'll just have to write a play and perform it next week.
Oh no.
Shucks.
What are you talking about? You don't have something prepared. It's a rave. You literally said you were going to do a light show.
That's true. I did promise you I would do a rave one of these days.
I am joking.
Maybe next time I'm at a bar
Yeah.
rather than a playhouse.
Yeah, I think they're probably inviting the wrong kind of clientele at that point. All right, let's jump over to Lithian. What is Lithian up to today?
She is just gonna go spend time just hanging out with Jordan. Just
Okay.
like using that time, since she spent so much of the last couple times she's been here dealing with her problems, she's just gonna like listen, be there, like actually be a good friend.
Oh. You guys crack open a bottle of wine on the second floor of his store. He gives you the download on a current situation for someone that he's just sort of casually dating. And he's not sure how they feel about trying to do anything more because they're being sort of dodgy about it, and it's upsetting him a lot. You've arrived at an appropriate time.
I will make sure to give him advice that he deserves much better than that, because he's fantastic.
All right. And last but certainly not least, I know you are currently coattailing Hazard. Is there anything you want to do, Tajira, with any extra time throughout the day, or anything you want to do while you're in the auction hall? Okay, gonna follow Hazard. Gotcha. Hazard.
If I could get him to do something, I'd want him to spread around the fact that there's items from Vark Kelzar here.
Sure, I'm sure Tajira would be more than willing to sow some words of intrigue amongst the crowds. You got your 2 sentences for me?
I'm doing my last. Yeah, well, there's 2 of them.
I was talking on mute.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that is awkward. Well, while Kyle's still typing, let's you heard my question, I'm assuming.
Yes. He was. Yes. This is agreeable to her. She wants to start spreading the word that there is rare items, and specifically, I guess there's probably a showing of the items before the auction.
Well, that is the auction.
I'm about to say, well, I mean, you're at the auction, but I think Tim means your auction in particular, which is you choose to schedule the time during the day when you want it to be done. The soonest is in the next hour, or if you choose, you could do it several hours later towards the tail end of the night, and give you and Tajira some time to work the crowds as you were. But then again, it's one of those, how many people are going to stay standing around an auction house for 8 to 9 hours waiting for the thing to happen, right?
Well, if there was that specialist who's looking, or someone who's specifically looking for that kind of a collector item, maybe.
Yeah, but you still need people to bet against them, is the thing. So I would say we would have like a maximum of 4 hours that we would want to wait, I'm going to guess, because that wouldn't take us too late into the night, would it?
Well, if you took 4 hours, hang on.
What time does the auction close?
The auction closes at 9 p.m. And then they do processing for about 2 hours. It is currently
Did we shift time
2.
zones at all?
Yes, you did.
All
It
right.
is 2 p.m. You guys gain 3 hours.
That's good, I guess. Our sleep schedule is a mess.
It is.
Puts it a little more on track.
So, can I try several persuasion checks, maybe?
You're gonna take a couple of hours. So we're not inundated with dice. Just give me 3. Give me 3 persuasion checks.
Ooh. That one's 29,
Good.
14, and 27.
Okay. Well, if you've ever been to an auction house, there's a certain type of person, right? especially for individuals that are seeking for certain objects or items in particular, or certain qualities or cultures. In enough time, Tajira does a good job of sowing some information amongst the crowd, and even with people coming and going over the course of a couple of hours, it does seem that by the time after it's been able to wait, there is a long section stored behind arcane reinforced glass, where several auction items that are up for auction later in the day are on display, and of which Hasvards are present. And you've gathered quite a few individuals that have stopped by and shown great interest in them.
Good.
Are you only putting up the blue gem?
Yeah, I'm keeping one of them.
Well, there were 3. That's why I'm asking.
Wait, what was the other one?
There was a red, blue, and green one.
Oh, there's a green. Thank you. No, I'm just putting up the blue one.
Okay. Yeah. Over the course of it, like I said, Tajira generates quite a bit of traffic of interested parties, several of which come, and the auction house facilitates inspections in private rooms, of which you're allowed to be present for at any time if you were interested in it. You basically get a sending message that lets you know. So if you ever want to be in the same room as someone looking at it, you're more than welcome to be.
Sure.
But yeah, you get a handful of interested parties. 4 people in particular, one of which only looks at the chain shirt, 2 of which look at all of your items, one of which only looks at the gem. And out of the group of them, 2 of them are extremely interested. The individual that only looked at the gem, and one of the 2 individuals that looked at all 3 items are extremely interested in acquiring. Whereas the other 2 spent some time, looked at it, were intrigued, but didn't really show any large reactions.
My charisma comes through in my writing.
But eventually, a couple of hours will pass, and your time for auction comes up. You were more or less brought along with the items, escorting them, to up onto the stage where you get to sort of stand off to the side as the items are brought up for auction.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a somewhat tall, more rotund human that's standing behind the podium with the gavel in one hand, dressed in a fine pinstripe suit, and he's just kind of sitting there. And he gestures with a hand as the chainmail is brought out on a very flattering torso, a wooden torso. So it's wearing it, but of course the torso's also got like really strong shoulders and musculature sort of etched into it, so it looks like a warrior's wearing it. It's a little extra flair.
Yeah, not a Hasvard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to hear CJ's auctioneer voice.
Oh man, I've not done this in forever. Unsurprisingly, I've actually done a couple of auctions before. They were never like big official things. They were like school related things and community related things.
That unsurprisingly is if I look at you and I'm like, that guy's definitely an auctioneer, or has been at some point in his life.
It's not a visual thing; it's a speech thing.
Fair enough.
Speech impediment. That's what they called it. So that's what I call it. I had a speech impediment when I was younger, where I spoke so quickly, I would slur words together, and no one could understand. So I went to speech therapy for several years in elementary school until I learned how to control myself. And sometimes that slips, and I still do it. But it comes in handy. So the chain shirt is brought up. And the card is passed off, and the auctioneer takes it and kind of regards it, adjusts his little round glasses, and puts it on the podium. And then he raises his hand with the gavel and gestures at the item very, very grandly. All right, first up for auction, we have this beautiful blue steel chainmail scavenge from the depths of Varkalzar. This piece was stored deep past the rivers of lava near the 90th floor. What was your opening bid that you requested, Asvar? You would give all. You would give opening. I'm about to say you would give opening a starting point for all 3 items. So consider that. Okay. And he brings the gavel. He goes, and the opening, the starting bid is going to be 5,500 gold. Do I hear 5,500? Yes, to the sir in the back, 5,500. Do I hear 6,000? 6,000. To you, sir, in the back. Thank you. Do I hear 6,500? 6,500. And it starts picking up very quickly. And you get a couple of people that are actually sort of competitively, before it dips under, before it crests 10,000, a couple of people that are, they're throwing their hats in the ring. And it gets pretty intense. And then once it gets over 10,000, the bids slow down quite a bit. But then you notice there are 2 consistent bidders that are always kind of outbidding everyone else and pushing out other bidders. And then by the end of it, you see that it's just the 2 of them. And they're kind of looking at each other across the auction hall. But eventually, you get up to, and I get 12,000 from the sir in the gold hat in the back. And then you see do I get 13,000? And then you see the other guy raise up his paddle and go 15,000 gold pieces. And the other guy has a moment where he looks back at him and he just sort of just throws his hands up and he's done. And you hear the sold to the gentleman with the purple scarf in the back for 15,000 gold pieces. And they move through the proceedings. They move the chainmail off the stage. They do the usual spiel of, please see us after the auction and we will process your purchase and give you your item. Thank you. And then they move on next down the line to the ever-smoking bottle.
What do I think this one would cost? Because I should have done this for all 3 of the items. I didn't.
Well, so the ever-smoking bottle, you know what, yeah, roll 2 more charisma checks like earlier.
That one is a 24, and then a 23.
Okay, pretty good. The bottle, you've seen a couple of these over the years. This sort of magical item is not new to you. The bottle itself is very different, and that is sort of the difference in ever-smoking bottles all around the world, is the craftsmanship of the bottle. That being said, it's very finely made. It's got an interesting exterior design etched into the glass. It's not one you've really seen before, so you think it's unique in that regard, if only because it's probably quite old. By and large, though, ever-smoking bottles only range they only go in the area for about between 300 and 500 gold normally. Depending upon who you get them from in the craftsmanship of the item. Okay. And the gem, I will just tell you, the gem is beautifully cut. It's about 2 inches in diameter. It is a dark, deep blue, like the bottom of the ocean. And you do know it was used as a component for an incredibly powerful, very intricate, not fully understood magical instrument of some kind that contained memory. So you don't know exactly what it was used for, but you do know it at least functions well in a magical capacity. From sapphires you've seen, which would be a comparable item in this particular instance, you think just from its sheer quality, size, and cut, you think this would run you at a fine jeweler's place 1,500 gold. Okay. the sake of not overrunning it too much, we work through the next item, the ever-smoking bottle, of which the same reappearance of the same purple-scarfed individual ends up being the lead bidder. The ever-smoking bottle goes for 650 gold. And then last but not least, the blue gemstone, which is brought up on this beautiful podium with these arcane lights underneath it, trying to push light through it. That's actually the thing you notice that's most interesting when they do it. The light doesn't actually pass through it at all. It seems to completely absorb it. And that gets a couple of people's attention. But the same gentleman with the purple scarf is again one of the stronger bidders when this goes up. Except another individual who is dressed in a very beautiful green silk vest, a half-orc, is another competitive bidder. And they soon push out all the other bidders, and they go up to about 4,000 gold. And for my sake, I have to figure out who is going to have the bigger coin purse for this. And it is on the final bid from the orc in the green vest who pushes out the gentleman with the purple scarf at 7,000 gold. There is definitely something to that you think both of them probably recognize that no one else really had the expertise to understand. Maybe not even yourself.
No, totally valid. That's why I only put one up.
Okay. After the auction closes, the auction house goes through the process of acquiring the gold from the buyers, and they make the exchange of goods and money. So let's see what the auction house's cut is, because they're happy. You made a lot more money than they were anticipating.
Yeah. They get 5%.
Mm-hmm. They made about 1,200 gold.
Okay, so I minus 1,200 from it?
Yeah.
$2,150.
So, yep.
Sorry,
21450.
Yeah, 21450. Okay.
Not a unsmall sum of money.
Where's my calculator?
On a phone, on a computer.
Yeah, on my phone. It's on a phone. Just give me a second. It's not for the edition. We have that. That's not what I need. I will thank them not profusely. I'll thank them for helping me sell my items.
For their services rendered.
Yep, exactly.
Sir, this is our job. Please stop shaking our hands.
I'll grab Tajiro and be like, that was good stuff. Good job finding all those people.
It was profitable.
Apparently. It looks like well, we're each gonna get 5,300 from it. So let's go meet up with the rest of the group, divide it out, and then if we have anything else we need to do, we'll get it done.
That is most generous.
It's also worth mentioning, the auction house will dole this out to you in one of three ways. They will either give it to you in a sum of coins right now, either gold or platinum. They will give it to you in a sum of equivalent gemstones right now, or they will deposit it in a bank in the city for you.
I'm gonna go with the bank, and we'll just all go to the bank together and transfer funds over there. Because that's the thing you can do with the bank, right?
I mean, if people have bank accounts, yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it does require someone to have taken upon themselves to go open a bank account for that to be effective. Otherwise, you could just withdraw the money and go like, Well, I guess here's the money.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know Lithian has one.
I also have one.
Lithian will refuse the funds.
Tijira doesn't have a bank account.
Well, then I'll just take you to my bank and we'll get you out the funds.
Mhm.
Or I'll hand them to you whenever you need them until we're out of that amount.
Does Martel have a bank account?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah. Wait, Lithian, don't turn him down.
I
Are you
mean,
sure?
she's not Lithian, but she's got quite a bit of money. She can't just carry that around on her back.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
All right. Well,
I mean,
I mean, you do know how rich Lithian is, right?
yeah, that's valid.
Even on
I'm
the even on the
I'm not-
outs with her mother, she's still rich.
Okay, redoing the calculations.
I take it back. I'm taking my portion and I'm donating it to you. And your family.
Yay! Thanks,
And-
Lithian.
Something nice for yourself. Just one thing, please. Just one thing. It doesn't have to be all of the money. Just like one nice thing for yourself.
But I have nice things.
Uh-huh.
Lithian remembers the cheap suit you bought.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I'll probably take a bit of this money to go and get myself nice clothing. Okay, yeah, so Tajira and Martel take 5 grand, 362 gold, 0.5, so however you want to do that.
I have silver.
Yeah, but yeah, there are lower currencies for.
Yep.
No, here's half a gold coin.
Just half a go card. Toss this in
Did
my
you say
bank.
that number again? Sorry, I didn't have.
5,362. 5 silver. And are we supposed to keep track of our bank? Yes, no?
Yes, I am not keeping track of your bank. Yeah,
Good.
all of your items and responsibilities you keep track of. I just facilitate the systems that exist to manage them.
But you will tell us when it's payday and stuff, right?
Yes, of which you were pretty much the only one that has to be concerned with that. So, I mean, yeah, we assume your bank account has been increasing because your business is profitable. Minus of course, the one business that got partially blown up and you've had to put money into to rebuild it.
Yep. But that's okay. We gotta do that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes buildings just explode. That happens.
That's when you piss off the wrong people.
Tijira is actually amazed at how much money this is. And she's going to open her first bank account.
More bureaucracy. And trust me, the clerics at the Gold Coin Syndicate love their bureaucracy. You go through like a stack of 50 forms to open a bank account.
Oh, that would kill her.
And then you have to sign a contract in blood. It's how they make sure they can get a hold of you in case something happens with your money, without relying on an address, because adventurers are wholly unreliable for ever being in one location. Not that has to do with you in particular, but adventurers over the years have proven that to them.
Alright, well, I guess she just has to take the time to open an account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a solid 2 to 3 hours of paperwork. It's not very fun, but you can get it done. You got time.
Lithian will require proof of purchase of the nice thing for yourself, just for the record.
If she wants a
Okay.
receipt to make sure you actually spent a lot of money, not that it looks like you spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I'll spend like 100 gold on a suit, maybe.
Oh man.
But
That's even less than you spent on the other suit already.
I know.
You're going backwards.
Well, now that she has money, Tajira's gonna go buy like 2 eye ointments. Enough for 2 eye ointments. Because she's run out.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, go. You go get you some spell components.
That's what we need.
Yeah, I mean, 50 gold gone, no problem. That being
Yeah, I'm gonna have
said,
to think about the new suit that I'm gonna buy.
so yeah, those of you that have come in the money, is there any perhaps any magical item buying you'd like to do, or potions, or any other equipment? Big city, lots of needs to be met.
That's valid. Yeah. Well, the hammer I asked for armor pretty much from them.
You did. You wanted armor that would help keep you alive.
Yep.
That's what I've got written down, at least.
Yep. So what do I want to look for this time? Because attunement slots are plentiful.
I mean, yeah, you would either choose to trade one out, or you could try to find something that doesn't require attunement. There are several things that fit that list.
Yeah, I could do that. Let's go see if there's anything that doesn't require attunement.
All right. On a scale of 1 to illicit, what kind of business do you want to find to buy your items from?
I would like both.
Okay, well, funnily enough, you've got one, a completely legitimately owned and run business in Star's General Goods Store, which you guys have been in, and Martel has done advertising for in the past. And then you have the strange door in the back alley in the casino district, run by the tiefling that you bought your hand crossbow from.
Oh, heck yeah, you're right.
So yeah, you literally got both sides of that scale filled out really well.
Does anyone want to come weapon shopping? Or item shopping, I guess?
Magical baubles? Anybody?
Bubbles? Bubbles?
I just imagine Martel's busy with the performance for the whole day and into the evening when she actually performs.
Martel is engrossed.
Into Shiro's. Getting a bank account.
Yeah,
I mean,
you are.
You could have some time later.
Lithian, do you want to join me?
Any time that she's not spending with Joran would be with her dad if he's in town.
He
If
is.
not, then yeah.
When mom
Sorry.
goes out of town, dad's at home.
That's
Family.
okay. Solo travel!
All right,
I'm gonna
Hasvard.
go buy my pain away.
All right, which one do you want to start with? You want to start with legit, or you want to start with illicit?
We're definitely starting with legit.
Okay. So we're going.
Tajira will come. She'll come
okay.
if she has time.
So the Adventures of Hasvard and Tajir. Okay. You can go to the first district, to Star's General Goods Store with the bright crimson red sign hanging above it. Walking through, there's a happy little magical chime that plays through the air, and there's a bubbly redhead that springs up from between two of the shelves. Hello, and what can I get for you? Oh, I know your name. Give me a second. Hisvard. Hasvard, right?
No, it's obviously not. I'm Jeffrey.
Oh, no, never mind. You're right. It was Hisgard last time I met you.
No, Jeffrey. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hand out, completely straight-faced.
Right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you remind me this person's name?
Star.
Oh, it's Star. Yeah.
Star's General Goods.
Yeah, of course. Is this the place that Martel suggests all the time?
Yes, Martel has done a lot of advertising for us. She's brought in a lot of customers. Probably for the wrong reasons, but I still take their money, so it's fine.
That's valid.
Mm-hmm.
If they're just gonna hand it over to you, why not?
Well, no, I mean, I give them things in exchange. I'm not robbing.
See,
Do you see all the magical things on the shelves? I have a wizard in the back working his literal fingernails off to keep these shelves filled.
oh wow.
Not really. He's very diligent, and we have a lot of stuff.
Well, do you mind showing me anything that you have that doesn't require attunement?
Well, that's very vague of you. Do you have
I
any?
am a vague person.
Yeah, I'm gathering that, Jeffrey. Do you have any requirements as to this item you would like? Do you want it to be able to hurt someone? Do you want to stab someone? Do you want to be able to feed yourself on very little with very little weight? Do you want something that can transform an inanimate object into a moving statue? Do you want a gem that, when crushed, can summon an elemental? We have a lot of things. Gotta be specific.
Yeah. See, I'm not that well versed in magic items, and I'm so sorry for that.
Well, it's fine. I guess I can take some time and run you through the inventory. Let me save myself a little bit of trouble. How much are you looking to spend?
I'm looking to spend
Jeffrey, come on.
somewhere between
It's not
3
not
and
hard.
4,000.
Again, that one's actually really specific. Sure. Okay, let me see. Well, if you follow me, I'll take you down the aisle where we have non-attunement based items in order of what they are good for. How about a pair of golden lion figurines that, when you speak their word, turns them into 2 living lions? You have a need for lions? They'll eat bodies.
Is it reusable?
Yes. Yeah, if the lions are hurt or damaged, they'll just go back to their figurine form. And then you have to wait for the magic to recharge before you can use them again.
Oh.
Or maybe you'd be interested in this set of ivory goats. Or this marble elephant. You have a need for an elephant?
You can make an elephant appear out of a tiny stone.
She'll pick up a small, like, 2-inch high figurine that is an elephant carved out of white marble. Yeah, this. You want a demonstration?
I would love to see an elephant, yes.
All right, let's go alarm some people. And she takes the figurine and heads out the front door. And then she literally she throws it into the middle of the street, and you hear her utter a word very quietly, and you just watch as it into a full-sized marble elephant in the street. And it sits there and it moves and animates perfectly lifelike, other than the fact that it's made out of marble. And it begins sort of like looking around, and then it turns around and looks at Star.
Is such high quality products for such an affordable cost.
I'm not going to give you a discount. Please stop. And then she strokes the trunk of the elephant, and then you hear her utter another word, and you see it shrink back down to the figurine. She goes to pick it up. Yeah, case in point. Elephant. Yep.
If you threw it into the sky.
There's a series of these, actually. So we've got golden lions, ivory goats, marble elephants, onyx dogs, and a serpentine owl, if you're interested.
Oh.
Or a silver raven if you really want, but that's really like the bottom of the barrel. They're pretty cheap.
How much are they?
500 gold.
All of them?
All of the figurines? No, the silver raven is 500 gold.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I was meaning the elephant and probably the lions.
All right,
How much
well,
are those ones?
the elephant is 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
The lions are 1,800.
I like these. I'll keep them in mind. Do we have anything completely different?
Okay, so moving away from figurines, do you find yourself traveling on water a lot?
No.
Okay, then I'll skip the folding boat.
Thank you.
Let's see. Do you have a hard time seeing in the dark?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Do you find yourself pickpocketing people frequently?
No, but I could.
Well,
What
if
do
you-
you have?
These amazing gloves of thievery. And she'll pull off a set of gloves from the shelf. Very thin. They almost look like they're made of purple silk. They got little gold bands around the fingers, and she'll slip them on, and when they're finally on her hands, they go invisible. Now, when you wear these, it makes it very easy to take things out of people's pockets without them noticing. Smooth as silk, one might say.
her hands are invisible?
No, the gloves are.
Oh.
She slipped the gloves on her hands, and the gloves turned invisible.
Okay. Sorry, you can understand my confusion though.
Yes, yes. Like
Ambiguous wording.
Yeah. Oh. No. But thank you for showing it to me. It's very interesting to see.
she'll take them off and slip them back onto the shelf. Do you find yourself speaking to people in languages you don't understand?
Yes, that's a problem.
All right. Well, I have a helmet, or it can be converted into a hat with a little extra time. That will allow you to comprehend languages of any spoken tongue in the world.
Just on command, or
You wear it,
Period.
and it acts as a focus to cast a spell that casters may know as Comprehend Languages.
okay, and it's not attuned. That's
does
fair.
not.
How much is this one?
This one is 750 gold.
Okay, well, pack up this one and the lions.
Okay.
Do you have something to alter their appearances?
Well, yes, but I think your friend also does. And she looks at you, Hazard.
Have what?
Something to alter appearances? Jeffrey?
Yes, I have a hat
He
you
does.
can use if you would like.
I would like to own it.
Then you're more than welcome to buy it from me for a reduced price.
What does it do? We can talk about that later, I suppose.
Well, no, with once you attune it, it acts as a focus for you to cast Disguise Self. You can look like anyone. Or I guess anything kind of that is your size.
Any humanoid creature. The spell is a pretty simple one. It does have its limitations.
Yeah, that. Like, stars might have something of better quality.
Well, yeah, I don't know where you got your ragtag little hat from, but yeah, no, we probably do.
Alright. Well, like, no reason to harsh on a friend making me a gift.
I didn't realize it was a gift from a friend. I was just merely observing the quality of the work, craftsmanship. Well, yeah, so you can figure that out between you two if you'd like.
Yeah, but I'm gonna buy these.
All right, well, I've got those two. Anything else you'd be interested in? You know, you haven't even hit your lower side of your budget yet. That we can go
Right.
above the floor a little.
No, it's okay.
You sure?
I'm going somewhere else. I'll come check you out again, maybe after. Do you have any ranged weapons that are magical that don't require attunement?
Now you ask for a weirdly specific thing?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I
do.
do.
Okay. Well, doesn't it make it more fun? I want to see what you want
No.
to suggest before I suggest what I want
I
to
can't suggest anything when you don't give me any guidelines other than I don't require attunement. You have any idea how many things in this store don't require attunement? A lot of them.
Really? That's cool.
Yes, like a couple hundred.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway,
that tells you how often I go shopping.
yeah,
At
clearly not
Stars,
often.
which is a great place to shop.
There's no one else in here. Please stop that.
Just having fun. It's really fun to. It's okay.
I'm not going to give you a
You're-
discount, no matter how hard.
You're a good person. I don't want a discount.
Good, because you're not as attractive as Martell, so probably won't pull in as many
That's
customers.
not 100% true.
Yes, it is.
It's 100% true.
Yeah.
But it's hurtful.
Shouldn't be. She's incredibly attractive. It's actually, if anything, unfair to even try to compare you against her, or pretty much anyone, actually.
It's like she was designed that way. Huh.
That's a very weirdly specific thing to say. That was like the only specific thing you've said the entire time you've been in here. That's unusual. Anyway, let's get away from that weird topic conversation
so
and
back
take
to
you to some
the
weapons.
bow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have a couple of options here for you. So what are you looking for? A bow For your size, a short bow, hand crossbow, or light crossbow? In what
I
area?
want something that I can hit like farther away than hopefully like 30 feet. I've been having a little bit difficulty with the whole 30 feet is my distance.
Okay, I'd probably recommend a short bow for you then. If
Okay.
you've never used one before, you're gonna have to do a little self-teaching. Yeah, the difference between bows and crossbows are very different.
Oh, I know. Like, who hasn't shot a bow once in a while?
A lot of people.
Oh, well, you have to hunt for food, and if you don't have a crossbow, which can be more expensive than a bow.
You ever lived inside of a city before? Don't have to hunt for food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't just stay in cities, and that's valid, though. You're 100% right.
I know I am.
All right, calm down now.
Kind of part of my charm and part of my job.
Oh, okay. Well,
I need to know things so I can be correct and make informed decisions for people.
okay, back on topic.
Yes. Well, again, probably a short bow. Yeah. I mean,
short bow.
you feel like you'll be shooting it a lot?
I'll be shooting it very frequently.
Yes, but are you an agile shooter? Are you going to be firing a bunch of arrows really quickly, or just like one occasionally?
One occasionally.
All right. Well, so then a short bow and a light crossbow are basically going to be the same thing for you. Really depends on if you really care about the mechanism in that.
I'm confused and don't understand what you mean.
Well, so I'm telling you that short bows and light crossbows shoot roughly the same distance.
Oh.
It's really just the delivery method that changes. You want to shoot people, with a twang and an arrow, or do you want to fire off a ka-chunk and a bolt? It really that's the difference.
I guess a twang because it's quieter.
That it might be. No, not.
Yeah,
Crossbows don't make a lot of noise.
they do make a lot of noise.
Not.
They do when you reload them and stuff.
Would you like Would you like a demonstration?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Anyway, I can offer to you. Have a pretty limited selection that meets your requirements. I can show you a vicious short bow +1 version of it, which doesn't require attunement, but is magical, and out of character. When you roll a 20 with an attack, they take an extra 7 points of damage.
Really?
Extra
You said-
critical.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
extra critical damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds nice. Is there any other options, or is this the only one of this type?
Well, this is the only one in terms of short bows. I have a light crossbow here. That is, it's a little bit upgraded of the normal variation you'll see. This is what removes the attunement. It is a light crossbow of warning. Normally they would require attunement. This one does not. So the price is going to be a little higher. But while you have the weapon on your person, out of character, you will have advantage on initiative rolls. And then in addition, you and any of your companions, while within 30 feet of you, can't be surprised, except when incapacitated. The weapon will magically awaken you and your companions within range if any of you are sleeping naturally when combat begins.
That's so useful for us without our wisdom. Oh, I like that. How much is that?
That, my good sir, goes for a princely sum of 1,000 gold pieces. It is also a point.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna take those 3 items.
All right, and I will even throw in a pack of normal crossbow bolts for you.
Oh, thank you all. Will be very useful in the coming days, I'm sure. How much would that come to? What is the total?
Did you want the helm or the hat for the comprehending language?
Oh, a hat, please.
I was just deeming you the things.
Thank you.
These are all plain Jane 5th edition magic items, so you can look these up. Except for the comprehending languages one will be a helm of comprehending.
Okay.
The total comes to add 1,000 to that. 3550.
3550. I'll take that out of my bank.
And before you get skedaddling, anything else for you, my good tabaxi friend? You might want to take the thing out of your mouth.
Dang it. Sorry. Yes. I think I am on right. Thank you, though.
We have many things. You feel like, to me, you are a spellcaster.
Indeed.
Well, we've got wands and staffs and robes, if you're looking for something to fit your aesthetic.
Take a look at you. She'll peruse some of the robes.
She will take you over to a clothing rack and sort of filter through a couple of robes. You see amongst them one robe, dark, deep blue, covered in multiple what looks like imprints of closed eyes. One which has constantly shifting colors, kind of like watching a prism change as you adjust the light. So wherever you move, it changes as well. It's a little disorienting at first.
Is it like flashy?
Like
Or-
attention grabbing or light casting?
Attention grabbing.
Yes, extraordinarily so.
What she wants.
There's a jade-colored silk robe with a 6 serpents emblazoned on it. Another robe which goes through a gradient pattern of yellow, orange, red, and purple. And the last one, a white robe covered in about a dozen or so various patches that all look like they've just been sewn on to various positions. And they have different objects on them. At a glance, you can see there's a dagger, a steel mirror, a bullseye lantern, a coil of rope, and a sack. Are there any specifics to these that you would like to know about?
What is this? And she'll point at the one with all the patches.
Yes, fine choice. This is a robe of useful items. So simply put, if you put on the robe, and then tear off one of the patches, the patch will then magically become whatever the item is depicted on the patch.
And how would I get more of these?
Typically you don't.
Ooh.
You would have to take it to an enchanter and pay an enchanter to apply more patches. Which can be done here, by the way.
How much is it?
The robe is 1,200 gold pieces.
She'll go back to the first one that you said had eyes.
Yep.
Like sewn onto it. And what is this one?
Well, I think it'll be easier if I just show. And she takes the robe off of the rack and then slides it on herself. Then closes it shut in the front so it ties it off with a gold cord. And then you watch as all the closed eye patterns open. And then she closes her eyes and then begins walking around, and the eyes, a section of them on the robes, just stare at you and Hasvard as she walks away with her eyes closed and manages to navigate the entirety of the store with very little issue. And then she comes back, has a moment where she looks a little dizzy, and then goes, "This is a robe of eyes." Basically, the eyes on the robe become your eyes. If you have trouble seeing in the dark, this will help you. You can even see invisible creatures with it. And should you dare, glance into Scath. And more interestingly, it allows you to see, well, in every direction around you, all at once. But there's a downside, which is if you're suddenly exposed to a bright light, such as someone casting a spell that would generate a large quantity of light, especially if it's cast on you in particular, as expected, like walking out of a dark room suddenly into the bright day, it will blind you temporarily. But if you've got a hardy constitution, you don't really have to worry about it.
While you are using it, or while you are not using it? I'm assuming while you use it.
Well, while you're attuned to it, the eyes, you know, they look and do things. But you can close them, and as long as they're closed, you won't be blinded, but you also won't get any of the benefits of the robe.
How much is this?
This finely crafted item here from our very own Quill the Enchanter goes for 2,500 gold pieces.
I will take it.
A fine choice. Now, are you sure it can interest you in a staff or a wand to go with this?
I am fine with just the rope for now, thank you.
Okay. Well, you always know where the store is. She'll take it off the rack and package it up real nicely, and then write you out a receipt for both of your purchases. You would have received one, Hadvar. And she will hand you a bag.
How does the bank work?
If you have your account, you essentially give your bank number to the merchant, and they have more or less magical checkbooks where they write your number onto a slip of paper. They write their merchant's number on it. They put the amount to be transferred between parties, and then it magically clears the paper as it is sent to the bank, and the bank processes it. Money clerics.
Another job. Excuse me. I'm done. Jezero looks to Hazard. Shall we go? Do you have more things to look at? He is muted. You are muted.
You
sir.
are muted, Kyle. You've been muted.
No.
It's even worse now because now we can see you talking.
No, that's actually better because it means you know I'm trying.
Yes, true.
That's true.
Yes, we should leave now that we've had all of our needs met here at Star.
Please stop saying that.
Well, no, you've actually made purchases here today. You can say, "I'll take free advertising."
You don't have to be with him when he says it.
Huh?
That's not my problem anymore. Goodbye. Nice selling you things.
Thanks for letting us buy your good magic items.
You're more than welcome. Please stop by anytime with all of your money.
Not all of it, but some of it, sure.
I mean, preferably.
I'm really excited about the shorts.
Yeah, and then on it, yeah, I bought all the things that I could possibly want, except for a new suit, which I will be buying, and then describing whatever handmade, tailored thing that I'm getting with 1,000 gold or whatever, however much it takes to get like a fully tailored great suit.
I mean, you could spend all of the money you made on your auction or a fraction of it. there's a wide variety of options in the city.
Is 1,000 gold not a lot of gold?
I mean, it's not a small amount of gold, but I'm also saying you could easily spend 5,000 gold on a suit too.
I'll spend 2,000 to make sure Lithian's happy.
That
That is an insanely expensive suit.
It is. But Lithian buys shoes like this all of the time.
Yeah.
So, this is for Lithian, and the thanks for being like, yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta buy something nice for yourself.
Hey, maybe people will take you more seriously as a goblin in a really fine tailored suit.
Maybe.
Just imagining for any Canadians and/or hockey fans out there, a Don Cherry suit.
Oh my god.
Imagine
Yeah.
one of those.
I'm not getting a Don Cherry suit, but
You sure? It could have pumpkins on it.
there's gonna be a pumpkin on the collar. So,
Okay.
Oh man, now I'm just imagining Dave Pumpkin suit.
Yeah.
So Tajira's wondering about altering her robes. She just would ask if she could like dye them or if that would do anything with the magic.
The ones you just purchased?
Yes.
If you're asking Star, she will tell you that mundane alterations will not take. You have to have a enchanter do them, and they usually charge you for it.
Okay, she'll ask how much she wants the eyes to match her eye color, and she wants the robes to be black.
Fair. I mean, they're already an incredibly dark blue, so the color change for the robe wouldn't be hard. The eye color change, on the other hand, that will cost you. So the color of the robe, Star almost hand waves, but the eye color change on the robe to match yours is going to run you 500 gold.
She'll
It's
agree to it.
Okay. Yeah, she basically explains it's an alteration in the actual enchantment that was anchored to the item.
Mhm.
So it requires unweaving it a small amount, which could potentially destroy the item entirely, and then weaving a new set of magic into it. But she assures you it's doable, and can be done by the end of the night.
I'll pay her and we'll come back for the robes later.
Okay. You have a really uncomfortable moment where she grabs you by the face and stares at your eye really closely for like a solid minute. And then she'll reproduce it with a minor illusion cantrip and go, yeah, so this. And to get you to agree to it.
Looks.
Yeah, looks very convincing.
Yeah.
All right.
Prove it.
Yeah, so by the end of the day, your robes will be altered, and they can be made black. That is not a problem. Hasvard, are you sure you don't want to go visit the illicit goods store?
no, I'm not sure, but I also don't want to pick up. Sure, let's go look at the illicit goods store.
Okay. Because
on.
Lithian's spending time with her family, and Martel's planning a show of which Martel's going to perform for us next week.
Ah,
So,
okay, yeah.
you know, get your time in now.
Yes, please. We'll go to.
Oh, you were serious about that? Oh dear.
No, a
I'll
little,
have to think about it.
little something.
Yeah,
You got a
I'll
week.
think about it. Yeah.
You got a week.
You got a
Oh.
week. You know, it's a smaller playhouse. It's doable. Not Seshok.
Okay.
Seshok shows up. But he's trying to be incognito, but he's just a 12-foot tall
Bar-
giant,
yeah.
so it's weird.
I think Bartel would be over the moon if Seshok was a secret fan of hers.
Shows up in like a ball cap and sunglasses.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's Seshok, but they just pretend they feign ignorance because, well, it's Seshok.
Yeah. You don't actually want to call him out when he's incognito.
What do you mean I wasn't being stealthy? Okay. Hopping in a carriage, you can make it over to the casino district, and you can go up to the door where you, go through the whole elaborate exchange with the half-giant doorman to get inside. You are brought into the back room, and the same smiling, orange-red skinned tiefling with his curved horns welcomes you in. So, nice to see you all again. Now, what do you need? And where's the giant Tafakari woman? She was a very good spender. Are you speechless? Hello, little goblin friend.
Sorry. I was speechless. I was unfortunately looking through my brain at past memories of.
Are you mocking me right now?
No.
Accent shift there.
Accent shift.
I have
It's
a
because
I have a large doorman with a very large hammer for a reason. He will nail you into the floor.
You are right. He could definitely do that.
Yes, if I don't do it first.
I got myself shocked out. Yes, I'm so sorry. Sometimes, do you ever get the 100-yard stare? You don't get that. That's okay.
No, I'm a professional. No, it doesn't happen to me.
Okay. Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you got anything fun?
I've got some wind-up clockwork toys that might be within your budget. Or do you want some more crossbow bolts? I have plenty in stock for you.
Why did I come here? Why was this?
I don't know. You came here and spent 25 gold last time. I have no idea why you would come here again.
I don't know. Like just humor me for like the next 10 minutes and show me 3 things that are worth.
Give me
2,000.
2,000 gold. Right? So just to confirm, you're not trying to pull one over on me and be like, ah, yes, I have 2,000 copper pieces in this bag.
No. Yeah. Just toss them out. Let's see what they look like.
All right. Just anything.
Yeah.
No preference whatsoever. Okay.
Let's see. Preference. Ring that doesn't require attunement for one of them. Preference. Something that you think would be hilarious. Preference. Something that would help protect someone that you're not close to.
Emotionally or physically?
Physically.
Okay.
Both.
Wait, do you have something for the emotionally?
I might.
All right, then
Okay.
there's a fourth.
So, ring selection. If you come over here, and he'll take you to the front counter with the glass top, and where there's just hundreds of jewelry pieces. He'll take you to a section of rings and pull out a box. Now, your request is very specific, and I do not have many because, well, to be honest with you, a lot of very good rings require attunement. So, he pulls out a small little showpiece, and we'll pull out a couple of rings. A couple of choices here. One, if you are a terrible swimmer, this ring will make you a good swimmer. No attunement cost to you. This one, similar vein, however, different uses. If you wear it, you can walk on liquid surfaces. Now, you can walk on water. You feel like walking from Kandrasa to Runan, you can do it. Or, if you're in a slightly more daring line of work, walk over a moat filled with acid, maybe. Or, if you're feeling very daring, and maybe are like me and have a little bit of fire resistance in your blood, you could walk over molten rock as well.
Yeah, that would have been useful recently, but
I'm so sorry that you took so long to get here.
oh, I'm not. Been a good break. And they're the same price?
No. The Ring of Water Walking is more expensive, by about twice the amount.
That makes sense.
Yes, it's very good.
So the smaller one is like what, 800 and
Oh, no. You're overthinking. The Ring of Swimming is 200 gold. The Ring of Water Walking is 450.
All right. Well, we'll take the water walking.
Okay.
Oh, it's a lot under what I said. That's okay.
And the last one, not a
Mhm.
tournament ring. If you, for some odd reason, and no judgment, have a weird thing for terrorizing animals, this ring will help you do it.
What do you mean terrorize?
Well, the ring is uniquely crafted to help you, well, either make friends with animals, speak with animals, or terrorize them as necessary.
Okay, so it does all three.
Yes. Yeah, it has 3 charges. It gains some of the charges back every day. And while you're wearing it, it allows you to use a bunch of magic based around dealing with animals.
No, I'm good.
Fair enough.
To 0?
I am done. I am fine.
Hmm.
All right. On to the next things.
Yes. A thing to protect someone far away from you. Let's see, that is very specific. Let me think. What do I have in inventory today? You know, you're allowed to put in requests as well. I am an acquirer of sorts. So if you ever have a really specific need, I know how to get things. In case, you ever needed something really specific. I don't know. I don't think I have anything that really meets their requirement.
That's okay.
Hang on, let me think. And he's kind of walking through the store, looking at shelves, picking up things, shaking his head in disappointment, putting them back down. No, other than a couple of potions, I really don't think I have anything that will protect people from a great distance. Not that you would be wearing and then would protect them. You would just give it to them.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, no, that's all I got in that thing.
Bring the water walking then.
And what were the other ones? The emotional one was a joke. I actually don't have anything right now. What was the you had another item? What was it?
Oh no.
Right?
Yeah, you're right, but I forgot what it was.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, something that you thought would be funny.
Oh, those I have. I have a couple of items. I have 3 wands actually. These are all very fun. So, and he takes you further down the glass counter at the front of the store, and takes you where there are just dozens of rows of wands. And then he takes out a small little panel with 3 on it. These, all very good. 1, a wand of smiles. 2, a wand of laughter. A 3, and for a ne'er-do-well such as myself, my personal favorite, a wand of flatulence. All you do is take the wand, and he picked one up and pointed at someone, and Hasvard make a charisma save.
That's not great. You know what? I'll just accept it. An 8.
Yeah, that's not great. Hasvard, you're sitting there, and he just points at you, go away. And then you don't feel anything. And then you start to feel a little bit of cramping in your stomach. And then you just let a really, really loud fart rip.
Okay. I don't like that one, but I'll take the one of laughing.
Bursting out laughing. You sure said not the same thing.
Well, I said who you pointed at. Now the side effects will vary. Wand of laughter, you say? Very well.
Wait, how much is that? She's asking for the wand.
All of these are the same price, and they each go for 100 gold apiece.
She lays down 100 gold and grabs it.
Now just be aware, I did use one of the charges for the demonstration, so you'll be one charge short.
Do you not have a new one?
No. Unfortunately, no. It will recharge, do not worry. Unless you plan on using it repeatedly today. I think you will grow tired of it after too long.
Maybe not me.
Either way,
Is there anything else you want to look for in this store?
I do have a lot of interesting things here.
I am content to listen for now. Ooh, do you have something that maybe record conversations?
Record conversations. Again, very specific. Honestly, I know of items that can do it. I don't have any right now.
Or a memory enhancements, maybe?
Ooh, that's even a bigger ask. Again, I don't have any, but I do know of some things that can do it. If you want to put it in an order with me, I can acquire one for you in some about a week's time.
How much are these? And what would it do?
Well, it depends on what you want. Now, you have two options. One, the item will, you basically take it with you to bed, and when you have it with you, while you sleep, any of the thoughts you have, you can record. And the item facilitates very specific instances of things you want to keep for yourself. And then they will store them on, and this is the only downside, they will store them on crystals that you have to buy and then store with new ones. So the good news is it allows them to, the thoughts and memories to be transportable to other individuals with the same devices. The bad news is someone could get the gem and then also then see the same thought. But they're very useful. The object in question, along with 10 crystals, will be 500 gold total. I take 25% upfront for acquisition purposes.
No. Dreams, maybe not so much.
The other one, which is a little bit more complex, and I will tell you now, much more expensive, allows you to clarify memories, to alter memories, or to erase memories altogether.
Of myself and others?
Yes. Granted, you can do so, at your leisure and accept it. On others, they, as with most spellcasting, will no magic is being used unless they fail in resisting it. In which case, you can alter their memory to then forget that you've done it, and anything else you want to do while you're in there for a window of time. That being said, you can only alter more recent memories, unless you happen to have hundreds of thousands of gold on you. In which case, the better versions would be available to you.
And how much is that?
The whole cost will run about 8,000 gold pieces with a 25% deposit.
Yes, I do not accept. Thank you. Neither of them will hit me for now, thank you.
Okay. Anything else while you are all here? You want to see some of my top shelf stuff for fun?
Ooh, funsies.
Pretend like, you're big spenders. You've recently acquired a bunch of money.
Ah. See, like, we, air quotes, acquired a bunch of money for us.
Well, let's pretend like you've come in, you've got a reputation, a couple million gold to spend. I would take you back here. And he takes you to a wall where it's just a solid wall with items on display. And then he walks up to it, and you see him sort of wave a hand, and there's a word you can hear him utter under his breath, and then he walks through it. And then he sticks his head out and kind of waves for you to follow it.
Hasbart's like coming through as he does that.
Yep. Taziro's definitely following.
Now back here, you see a room. It's dark. You have no idea how large it is. It is unnaturally dark. Hasvard, even your gifted dark vision cannot pierce this. It is as if it is magically infused darkness.
Do I have my cloak yet?
You do. Does not help you see through it.
Dang it.
Yeah, because you actually no, you don't have it yet. So you wouldn't even have it. Sorry, I lied. You have it at the end of the night. So when all is said and done, you go back to group together. You'll have it then. You see what looks the way it's arranged to be a hallway. You guess probably about 15 feet across and running for an undetermined amount of space deep. But there are 8 podiums with glass cases and items inside of them of varying sizes and shapes. And then he turns, I would tell you that I am a thief for a living. And I acquire many, many interesting items from very rare and often untouched collections of individuals. And he'll step up to the first one. Like this, for instance. And you see just this beautiful longsword. It is a silvered blade adorned with this large blue gemstone near the crossguard, and it's got these feathered wings that sort of wrap around the hilt. They look like they're adorned in platinum. I would show you something like this, a weapon only the worthiest of paladins can wield. Or perhaps something a little more whimsical, and he goes across the aisle to this. And it's a single hand made out of carved ivory, but on one of its fingers, there's a single white gold band with a glowing, what looks like a glowing gemstone on it with 3 motes of light circling. Or this, an item said to come from the creation war itself from the hand of a god. The ability to alter reality at a wish. Or 3 even. Steps down to the next case. A huge case by comparison to the other 2. Or this. And he shows you an enormous hammer. Larger than Tajira. Larger than him. And it's got the face. It's got the faces of 2 individuals on either side with these very large, powerful, like, grimaces. Like they're charging in the combat. Or this. A weapon wielded against one of the great primordial destroyers of our time. Taken to battle by one of the history's most famous human warriors. Or this. And he goes this. And he keeps to do this. He keeps doing this back and forth and back and forth until the very end. And then he turns around and he puts his fingers together. And I saved the best for last. And a light flickers on as he snaps his fingers. And at the end of the row, there's a single pedestal. And inside you see a purple satin pillow. Around it is adorned and what looks like black dragon scales. And resting atop the purple satin pillow looks like a deck of cards.
Oh.
And this, stolen from one of Abanus's very own dealers. A deck that could very well undo the fabric of reality as we all know. This one, no one has ever had enough money to purchase from me.
How much even would you want for this?
Well, I consulted with some of my fellow acquirers, and it was well decided that the opening cost for this would be 50 million gold pieces. But realistically, most of us have actually assumed the worth of it is significantly higher. But that's the number we use, considering most of the circle heads don't tend to come to shops like this. So that sort of money never comes through my door.
When you have something like this, it might. Who knows?
Yes, but we don't advertise to them because they're all scumbags.
Thank you for being a decent person. I knew I saw something in you.
I will take that as the compliment you intended it, and, just nod. Now, please, get the hell out of my store. You've seen too much.
Winks at him. Thank you for inviting us in. As he's walking out towards where the exit is, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to make our way back in. We just got back from I can't even speak right now.
I know, it's amazing.
It's not amazing. Don't make fun of me. That's not very nice. It's kind of funny though.
Mm-hmm.
Ark Kalzar. Blah. The Blazing Amber.
I don't know any of those words you just said.
You don't know the city of the Blazing Amber?
No, I'm a thief, not an archaeologist.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, like, thieving from the living, thieving from the really, really far away deceased.
Very different worlds. One is competitive and fun. The other one is boring. And usually very dangerous.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
Again, lava.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, on your way out, just do me a favor, because you're carrying money and now magical illicit goods from my store. So just try to keep a low profile. Don't talk about my business or anything. Thank you.
No worries.
Good evening. She'll bow.
We leave.
And you leave.
And we go try and find the girls because we now need to tell them about this deck of cards that is sitting inside of the city.
Yeah. I'm going to assume you were all going to reconvene at some point. Given I don't think any of you are going to know where Martell is, I suspect that Martell will do her show and then you guys will reconvene later that.
Yeah.
But we've already run well over time because throwing magical items in front of high-level parties is very fun. So that's where we're going to call it tonight, as Hasvard and Tajira are getting in a carriage and heading back to the Keyrell estate to maybe inform Lithian to all the various things they've seen tonight, and to probably show Lithian Hasvard's suit. Because, fancy pumpkins.
I'm so excited to hear the description you come up with.
Yes, please have one for next week, along with Ben's play. So much expectation next week.
Don't build it up like that. I can't meet those sorts of expectations.
The pressure.
I mean, you could beat the show at the Coliseum, right? That wasn't that was small potatoes by comparison.
You have to beat it. It's not about beating it. It's about doing a different, unique show to inspire and elevate the audience.
Martell did a huge show at a huge venue. Now she's doing smart business things and doing a show at a smaller venue, so it totally sells out. So the next time she's in town, she can go to a bigger venue and people will be all abuzz and be like, we can maybe get tickets this time. And it'll sell out. Business.
I see the plan.
Business. Capitalism.
Capitalism.
Well, I guess we'll find out how it goes next week, along with Hasvard's suit and any other illicit goods he might want to mention. But that's it for us tonight. That's where we're going to end it, as everyone's reconvening into various directions back in the city of Gilead. And I want all of you.
Chat. Love you guys.
And I want all of my players to think about what it is you guys will be doing when you have your warp ring available to you again the following day. Because, again, you guys got a lot of stuff to be looking at and maybe doing, and so think. Ask. And last thing, before you all run away, I want the Knights D100s from everybody.
Okay, so I've rolled about 5 times, not once over 50. So theoretically, I should have a decent chance.
You're talking too much. Don't jinx it.
I believe in you.
Just don't forget.
We're safe, guys.
Okay, but so, yeah, the session's title is Rotten Luck, so I mean, come on.
Well, we started it with a 1, so
Yeah, you're right. We dodged that bullet.
yeah.
I got a 13.
Almost dodged that bullet. Appropriate
Oh.
given the day.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, it's
And it is 11:13 right now. Right meow.
happy Friday the 13th. Lithian, Martel.
90.
Woo.
84.
Okie doke. Well, thank you for rolling those. Now you may all officially leave. And by that, I mean we're going to sign off for tonight. Because we're finished here. So thank you to everybody that has been sitting around and watching us. Again, every single viewer I greatly appreciate. Even if I don't get to thank you during the stream. I don't like breaking things up due to that. But trust me, I'm watching and I try to converse as much as I can. And of course, we have the lovely Sarah moderating chat, who will always engage in a conversation for any of you that wish to show up and chit chat. But all the same, every little person counts so much, and I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll catch you next time. There is no Moonrise tomorrow, unfortunately. One of the players is going through a bit of a battle with some illness. So just wish them well, and hopefully Moonrise will be at the next available date. Keep an eye on Twitter. I'll update it if we change the day. They seem very antsy to play. Otherwise, we will catch you next time. And if you can do nothing else, make good choices. Thanks, and good night.
Bye.
Good night.